Imagine lying down at night, your body tired, but your mind still racing, flooded with thoughts that refuse to let you rest. How many times have you wanted to close your eyes and drift peacefully into sleep, but instead found yourself replaying the past, worrying about tomorrow, or chasing endless distractions in your head? The way you end your day defines the way you begin the next one. If you close your eyes with peace, with calm, with the right mindset, you will wake up refreshed, focused, and steady. But if you fall asleep with noise, with stress, without intention, then you carry that same chaos into the morning before it even begins. Tonight, you're going to discover the meditations that will quiet your thoughts and guide you into a calm, deep sleep. These are not just words, they are reminders from Stoic wisdom, tools to let go, to breathe, and to prepare your mind for rest. So get ready, because after this, your nights will never be the same again. Before we start, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. Write in the comments, "I rest with peace." You won't just be writing a phrase, you'll be programming your mind for calm. The more you repeat it, the more it will sink into your subconscious, and the easier it will be to let go and drift into sleep. So write it down now, and let's begin. Number 1. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. How much of your stress, your anger, your sleepless nights come from trying to control things that are simply not in your hands? You want the world to move your way. You want people to act the way you expect. You want life to go according to your plan. But tell me the truth. How many times has that happened? How many times has life bent perfectly to your will? Almost never. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." That one sentence carries the power to free your mind. Think about it. The weather, the economy, other people's actions, what someone says about you, none of these are in your control. So why waste your peace on them? Why fight battles you cannot win? But there is something that is always in your hands. Your thoughts, your choices, your actions. That is your kingdom. That is where your freedom lives. You decide whether to react with anger or with calm. You decide whether to spend the day in fear or in courage. You decide whether to let life crush you or to stand tall in spite of it. So the rule is simple. Hold tightly to what is yours and let go of what is not. When you face a problem, ask yourself, is this in my control or not? If it is, act with strength. If it is not, accept it with dignity. Do not resist the river, flow with it. Remember this, peace begins the moment you stop fighting what you cannot change, and real strength begins the moment you take full responsibility for what you can. Number 2. The obstacle is the path. How many times have you cursed the problems in your life? How many times have you thought, if only this challenge wasn't here, my life would be so much easier? But think about it carefully. When has an easy life ever built strength? When has comfort ever made anyone grow? The Stoics believed something powerful. The obstacle itself is not blocking your way. It is the way. Marcus Aurelius said it clearly. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That means the challenge in front of you is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Every obstacle gives you a choice. You can complain, run away, and waste energy resisting it. Or you can look it in the eye and say, "This is here for me. This is the training I need." If life puts a wall in your path, it is not there to stop you. It is there to teach you how to climb, how to break through, or how to find another way forward. Think about it. The strongest people you know are not the ones who had no struggles. They are the ones who faced hardship, who turned pain into wisdom, who refused to quit when it was easier to give up. The obstacle became their path. So next time you face resistance, don't ask, "Why me?" Instead, ask, "How can this shape me? What lesson does this carry?" The storm is not here to destroy you. It is here to prepare you. Remember this: the obstacle is not against you. It is for you. The path you wish to walk is hidden inside the very thing you want to avoid. Step into it with courage, and you will discover that what seemed like your enemy was actually your greatest guide. Number 3. Fortune tests the strong. Have you noticed how life often seems to press hardest on those who try to rise, who aim for more, who refuse to settle? It can feel unfair. You push forward and the world pushes back harder. But listen closely. This is not a curse. This is not bad luck. This is the way fortune works. It does not waste its hardest trials on the weak. It saves them for the strong. Seneca once said that fire tests gold and misfortune tests the brave. Gold does not complain about the flames because the fire is what proves its purity. In the same way, hardship is the test that proves your strength. Without resistance, your courage would stay hidden. Without trials, your endurance would never grow. So when life challenges you, do not shrink. Do not cry out, "Why me?" Instead, remind yourself, "Because I am strong enough to bear this." Fortune does not challenge you to break you. It challenges you to reveal you, to show you what you are truly capable of. Every obstacle, every setback, every loss is a forge. It burns away weakness. It removes illusion. It shapes character. The pain you feel today is the same pressure that will one day become your strength, your wisdom, your calm. So welcome the test. Stand firm in the face of it. Be grateful that life considers you strong enough to handle what others could not. Remember this: fortune tests the strong, not to destroy them, but to uncover the power that lies sleeping inside them. Number 4. Death is natural, not evil. Why do you fear death? Why do you treat it as if it were some great injustice, as if life itself had betrayed you? Look around you. Everything in nature is born, grows, and one day comes to an end. The tree that falls in the forest, the waves that rise and break, the stars that burn and fade, all follow the same law. Death is not an enemy, it is part of the design. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He was not being dark. He was being honest. Death is not evil. It is simply nature completing its course. What is evil is to waste the time you have now by fearing what is inevitable. Think about it. You did not complain about the billions of years before you were born. Why then do you complain about the years after you are gone? Death is only the same silence, the same rest. It is not something to dread. It is simply the natural closing of a chapter. So do not let fear of death steal your life. Do not live timidly as if every step were dangerous. Do not waste your days in worry about the end while the present slips through your fingers. Instead, let the truth of death give meaning to life. Let it sharpen your choices. Let it remind you not to waste time, not to put off what matters, not to leave your best words and actions for tomorrow. Remember this: death is not evil. It is simply the final act in nature's play. To live well is to be ready for it, not with fear, but with peace. Number 5. Anger harms the angry. How many times have you let anger take over only to regret it later? You lash out. You say words you cannot take back. You make choices that leave scars. And who suffers the most? Not the person who offended you, not the world around you. It is you. Anger is a fire that burns its owner first. Seneca warned that anger is a form of madness. Think about that. When you are angry, do you think clearly? Do you see reality as it is? Or do you lose control, blinded by emotion, driven by impulses that make you weaker, not stronger? In the moment, anger feels powerful, but afterward, it leaves you empty, ashamed, and worse than before. Ask yourself, what has anger ever built? Has it given you peace? Has it solved problems? Or has it only created more? Wars, broken friendships, families torn apart, all of these are born from anger. And yet we cling to it as if it were a weapon that makes us strong. But in truth, anger is a chain that enslaves you. The Stoic path is different. You cannot control what others say or do, but you can always control your response. When insulted, choose calm. When provoked, choose silence. When wronged, choose wisdom over rage. This is not weakness, it is mastery. It is proof that your mind is stronger than your emotions. So the next time anger rises in you, pause. Ask yourself, who will suffer more if I give in, me or them? The answer is always you. Remember this, anger harms the angry more than anyone else. To master anger is to free yourself. To let go of anger is to step into true strength. Number 6. Desire is a chain. Why do you feel restless even when you already have more than enough? Why do you keep chasing, always wanting the next thing, always believing happiness is just one step away? That is the trap of desire. It promises freedom, but it binds you. It whispers that one more achievement, one more possession, one more pleasure will finally complete you. But the truth is simple. Desire is not freedom. Desire is a chain. Epictetus warned that the more you desire, the less free you become. Think about it. The person who desires wealth becomes a slave to money. The one who desires praise becomes a prisoner of other people's opinions. The one who desires pleasure becomes controlled by craving, never satisfied, always hungry for more. Every desire you feed tightens the chain around your neck. But what happens when you break the chain? When you stop needing what is outside of you and instead learn to master yourself, then no one can own you. No one can control you. No circumstance can steal your peace. The man who desires nothing cannot be bought, cannot be bribed, cannot be broken. He is truly free. So ask yourself honestly, what desires hold me by the throat? What chains have I willingly placed on myself? Look at them clearly. See how weak they really are once you refuse to obey. You do not need half the things you think you do, and once you let go, the grip loosens and you stand taller, lighter, freer. Remember this, desire does not lead to freedom. It leads to slavery. True freedom comes when you master yourself, when you no longer serve your desires, but make your desires serve you. Break the chain, and you will finally be free. Number 7. Virtue is sufficient for happiness. How many people chase after wealth, fame, and pleasure, thinking they will finally be happy once they have them? And yet, how many of those same people remain restless, empty, or miserable, even when they gain everything they thought they wanted? Why? Because happiness does not come from things. It comes from character. The Stoics were clear. Virtue alone is enough for happiness. Virtue means living with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. When your actions match your principles, when your choices honor what is right, you carry peace within you. No amount of gold, no applause from the crowd, no fleeting comfort can replace that. Think about it. Wealth can vanish overnight. Power can be stolen. Pleasure fades quickly. But virtue, your integrity, your honor, your ability to live rightly, cannot be taken from you unless you give it away. And if happiness rests on something unshakable, then true happiness is unshakable too. So do not look outside yourself for joy. Do not say, "I will be happy when I get this or achieve that." Instead, ask yourself, am I living with virtue right now? If the answer is yes, then you already have all you need. Even in hardship, the virtuous person stands tall. Even in poverty, the virtuous person feels rich. Even in pain, the virtuous person finds dignity. Because happiness is not about what you have, but about who you are. Remember this. Virtue is not just the highest good, it is the only good you truly need. And once you live by it, you will see that happiness was never outside of you. It was within you all along. Number 8. The present moment is enough. Why is it that so many people are unhappy, even when they have what they once dreamed of? Because their minds are never here. They are either chained to the past, replaying mistakes and regrets, or they are running into the future, chasing what they do not yet have. And in the process, they lose the only thing that is real, the present moment. The Stoics taught that this moment, right now, is enough. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present." He knew that peace is not found in yesterday, and it is not waiting in tomorrow. Peace exists only here, in the breath you are taking now, in the step you are walking now, in the thought you are choosing now. Ask yourself, what is missing in this moment? Not tomorrow, not next week. This moment. You are alive. You are breathing. You have the chance to act with courage, with kindness, with discipline. What more do you really need? When you tell yourself, "I will be happy when," you hand your peace to the future, and the future is never guaranteed. When you say, "If only I had done things differently," you chain yourself to the past, which can never be changed. Both are prisons. The present moment is freedom. So practice this. When your mind drifts, pull it back to now. Notice the air filling your lungs. Notice the ground beneath your feet. Notice what is directly in front of you. That is life. That is enough. Remember this. The present moment is not lacking. It does not need to be compared or improved. It is complete. And if you can learn to rest fully in it, you will discover that you already hold everything you seek. Number 9. Pain is an opinion. What is pain really? Is it the cut on your skin, the ache in your body, the loss of something you loved? Or is it the story you tell yourself about those things? Epictetus taught that people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Pain is no different. Pain is not only in the body, it is in the mind. Think about this. Two people face the same hardship. One cries out, curses life, and feels crushed. The other endures in silence, even grows stronger from it. The event is the same. The difference is the opinion. Pain itself is not what destroys us. It is the judgment we attach to it. When you call pain unbearable, it becomes unbearable. When you see pain as unfair, it becomes heavier. But when you see pain as training, as a test, as something natural, it changes. The body may still ache, but the mind remains steady. That is the power of opinion. Marcus Aurelius endured sickness, loss, and betrayal, yet he reminded himself that pain was nothing more than perception. He asked, "If it is endurable, then endure it. If it is unendurable, it will soon end." Either way, the judgment you place on it decides your suffering. So the next time pain visits you, stop and ask, what story am I telling myself about this? You may not be able to remove the sensation, but you can strip away the despair. You can remind yourself, this is only pain. It cannot touch my mind unless I let it. Remember this, pain is an opinion, and opinions can be changed. Your freedom lies in how you choose to see it. Number 10. Wealth enslaves the foolish. Why do so many chase wealth as if it were the answer to every problem? They believe that with more money will come freedom, happiness, and respect. But look closely. How many wealthy people do you see truly free? Many of them are chained, not by poverty, but by their riches. For the foolish, wealth does not liberate. Wealth enslaves. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." A poor man can be content with little, but a foolish rich man is never satisfied. He builds his own prison, brick by brick, with gold and silver. His days are filled with anxiety over losing what he has. His nights are restless with thoughts of how to gain more. What he owns ends up owning him. Money itself is not evil. It is a tool like fire. In the hands of the wise, it gives warmth, light, and power. In the hands of the foolish, it burns, consumes, and destroys. A wise person uses wealth, but does not cling to it. They can let it go without fear. But a fool clings so tightly that his wealth becomes his master, and he becomes its slave. So ask yourself, do you own your wealth, or does your wealth own you? Can you live with less? Can you walk away without despair if fortune strips it all tomorrow? If not, you are not rich. You are in chains. Remember this. True wealth is not in coins, possessions, or status. True wealth is freedom of the soul. Wealth enslaves the foolish, but it serves the wise. Number 11. You own nothing but your mind. Look around at all the things you call yours, your house, your car, your money, even the people you love. But ask yourself honestly, do you truly own them? Or are they only borrowed for a short time? A fire, a thief, or the passage of years can take them away in an instant. Nothing outside of you is truly yours. The Stoics taught this clearly. The only thing you own is your mind, your thoughts, your choices, your character. Everything else is on loan from fortune. Health may leave you, wealth may vanish. Friends may depart. Even your own body will one day be taken. But your mind, your power to reason, your freedom to choose, that is yours until your final breath. Think of it this way. If your happiness depends on things you cannot keep, you will live in fear, always anxious, always clinging. But if your happiness depends only on what is truly yours, then no one can touch it. You are free, so guard your mind more than your possessions. Train it, sharpen it, guide it with discipline. Do not pollute it with envy, anger, or greed, for those are the real thieves that rob you of peace. And remember, no one can chain your thoughts without your consent. Even in prison, a wise person is free if their mind is their own. Do not boast about what fortune has given you. Do not despair when she takes it back. Instead, hold fast to the one thing that is truly yours. Remember this, You own nothing but your mind. Protect it, guide it, and it will be enough. Number 12. All is fleeting. Look around you. Everything you see is in motion, changing, passing. The seasons turn, the leaves fall, the rivers flow, the sun rises and sets. Nothing stands still. Nothing is permanent. And yet, how often do we cling to things as if they will last forever? Wealth, beauty, fame, pleasure. None of them remain. Even life itself is borrowed time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "All is ephemeral, both memory and the object of memory." What does this mean? It means that both the things you enjoy and the things you fear are temporary. The pain that troubles you will fade. The joy that lifts you will pass. The people you know, the places you walk, the work you do, all will one day be gone. This is not meant to depress you. It is meant to free you. When you truly see that all is fleeting, you stop clinging. You stop wasting energy trying to hold what cannot be held. You stop fearing what is certain to pass. Instead, you begin to value what is here while it is here. You love without trying to possess. You enjoy without demanding it last. You endure hardship knowing it, too, will fade. Think of how light your mind becomes when you accept impermanence. The insult that hurt you yesterday? Gone. The worry that kept you awake last week? Already fading. Even the victories, the celebrations, the moments of glory? Gone in time. So why not meet all of life with balance, with calm, with the knowledge that everything is passing through? Remember this: all is fleeting. That is not a tragedy. That is the very reason each moment is precious. Do not cling, do not resist. Simply live and let it flow. Number 13. Live according to nature. Why do we suffer so much? Often, it is because we fight against the very order of life. We want summer in the middle of winter. We want people to behave exactly as we wish. We want life to bend to our desires instead of learning to bend ourselves to life. But the Stoics taught a simple truth. Happiness comes when you live according to nature. What does this mean? First, it means accepting that you are part of a greater whole. The sun rises and sets, the seasons change, people are born and people die. None of this is under your control, and none of it is unnatural. To resist it is foolishness. To align with it is wisdom. Second, it means using reason, the gift that sets you apart. The tree grows, the animal hunts, the river flows. All follow their nature, and you too must follow yours. Your nature is to think, to act with justice, to live with courage, to contribute to the world around you. When you betray that, when you chase pleasure over virtue, comfort over duty, you live against nature and you feel the weight of it in your soul. So ask yourself, am I living in harmony with the order of life? Am I using reason as I should? Am I fulfilling my role as a human being? The answer to these questions reveals whether you are living freely or living in conflict. Remember this: to live according to nature is not to escape life, but to embrace it fully, to accept what happens as part of the whole, to act with reason, to choose virtue, to play your role well. In this alignment, there is peace. Number 14. Fate leads the willing. Why do you resist what life places before you? Why do you fight against reality, as if your struggle could change the order of the universe? You may think rebellion makes you strong, but in truth, it only makes you suffer. Fate does not bend for your wishes. It does not ask your permission. It moves forward, with or without you. The difference is simple. The willing are led with calm. The unwilling are dragged with pain. Cleanthes, the Stoic poet, said it clearly. Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. To resist is useless. You cannot stop the seasons. You cannot stop death. You cannot stop the turning of events that are not in your control. But you can choose how you meet them. You can go with dignity, or you can go in chains. The choice is always yours. Look at the river. You can throw yourself against the current, fight it, and exhaust yourself. Or you can let it carry you, flowing with its direction, saving your strength for steering where you can. Fate is the same. You cannot control its current, but you can control your response. You can resist, or you can align with it. So when life gives you hardship, do not say, "This should not be." Instead say, "This is what is given to me. This is mine to face." Walk with fate, not against it. Accept the path, and suddenly the burden becomes lighter, the struggle less cruel. Remember this: fate leads the willing with grace, but drags the unwilling with force. Choose to walk freely, and what once felt like chains will begin to feel like guidance. Number 15. Be content with little. Why do you chase so much? Why do you believe happiness is hiding in the next purchase, the bigger house, the richer meal, the life you do not yet have? Look at your own past. How many times did you think, "If only I had this, I would finally be satisfied," only to find yourself wanting more once you got it? Desire has no end. The more you feed it, the hungrier it becomes. The Stoics knew the secret. To need little is to be rich. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Think about that. If you can be content with what is already in your hands, you have everything. But if you are never satisfied, even the whole world would not be enough. Contentment is not weakness, it is strength. To enjoy a simple meal, to find peace in a quiet room, to feel gratitude for the clothes on your back and the roof over your head, that is freedom. Because then no fortune, no loss, no sudden change can make you poor. You have already discovered wealth inside yourself. So practice this daily. Pause and notice what you already have. Breathe deeply and whisper, "This is enough." Train your mind to see abundance where others see lack. You will soon realize that little is never too little when your heart knows how to be grateful. Remember this: to be content with little is to be untouchable. Desire will not enslave you, fortune will not rule you, and peace will always be within your reach. Number 16. The cosmos is change. Look at the sky above you, at the stars scattered across the night. They were not always there as you see them now. Some are already gone, their light only just reaching you. The universe itself is in constant motion. Worlds are born, stars collapse, galaxies shift. Nothing in the cosmos is fixed, and yet we humans cling to the illusion that life should stay the same. Heraclitus said, "All things flow." Marcus Aurelius echoed this when he wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Change is not an accident. It is the very fabric of existence. Seasons turn, bodies age, circumstances rise and fall. To resist this is to fight against the order of nature itself. Why then do you suffer? Because you demand permanence in a world that was never meant to be permanent. You want things to last forever: your youth, your comfort, your success, even your relationships. But nothing in the cosmos supports that wish. The law of nature is transformation. So, what is the wise path? Not to resist, but to align yourself with change. See it not as an enemy, but as the way of the universe. Every loss is part of renewal. Every ending opens the door to something else. Even your own life is part of this vast movement. One day it begins, one day it ends, and in between it is constant becoming. When you accept that the cosmos is change, you stop clinging, you stop fearing, you begin to flow with life instead of fighting it. Remember this, the cosmos is change, and you are a part of it. Do not seek to freeze it. Do not mourn its motion. Embrace it, for in change lies the very nature of existence. Number 17. What is good cannot be taken. Think about the things you fear losing. Your money, your health, your reputation, the people around you. All of these are fragile. All of them can be taken from you in a moment, and none are truly yours. So where then is the good life to be found? The Stoics were clear. What is truly good is virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, and no one, not even fortune itself, can take that from you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if it is good, no one can take it from you. If it can be taken, then it was never truly good. Wealth can vanish, health can fail, loved ones can be lost. But your character, your integrity, your choices, those are yours until your last breath. That is the ground no enemy can reach. Think about it. A tyrant can chain your body, but he cannot chain your mind. Misfortune can strike down what you own, but it cannot strike down your courage. Insults can wound your pride, but they cannot touch your virtue unless you let them. The only true harm is the harm you inflict upon your own soul by abandoning what is right. So when fear of loss rises in you, remind yourself, what is truly good cannot be taken. Hold tightly to that truth. Do not measure your life by things outside your control. Measure it by the strength of your character, by the justice of your actions, by the peace of your conscience. Remember this, everything external is temporary, but the good of your soul is eternal. Build your life on what cannot be stolen, and you will never live in fear. Number 18. Do not be ruled by passions. How often have you regretted words spoken in anger, choices made in lust, or actions driven by envy? Passions promise pleasure, but they leave destruction in their path. They are like storms, loud, violent, and blinding. When you are ruled by passions, you are not in control. You are a slave to impulses that care nothing for your future. The Stoics taught that reason must govern the soul. Anger, fear, desire, these are natural feelings, but when they rule, they ruin. A man in anger is not a man. He is a fire, burning himself and all around him. A person consumed by desire is not free. They are chained, pulled by craving wherever it leads. Envy poisons joy. Pride blinds wisdom. To let passions rule is to hand over your throne. But you were not born to be a slave. You were born to rule yourself. Self-mastery is true freedom. The world may take your wealth, your health, even your life. But if it cannot take your reason, it cannot touch your soul. To master yourself is to stand unshaken when passions rise, to feel them but not be driven by them, to let them pass like clouds while you remain steady as the sky. So the next time anger flares, do not let it decide for you. The next time desire tempts, do not let it chain you. The next time fear whispers, do not let it guide your steps. Pause, breathe. Remember who is in command. Remember this. Passions are loud masters, but weak ones. They control only those who surrender. Do not be ruled by passions. Rule yourself, and you will be free. Number 19. Speak less. Do more. How often do you waste energy in words, talking about what you will do, boasting about plans, making promises that never see the light of action? Words are easy. They cost nothing. Action is hard. Action is what proves the weight of your character. Epictetus warned against showing off with empty talk. He said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Think about that. It is not your speeches that define you, it is your deeds. Anyone can speak of discipline, wisdom, or courage, but only the one who lives them in silence carries true strength. Every time you speak more than you act, you weaken your credibility. Every time you waste breath describing what you could do, you lose the focus needed to actually do it. Talking feeds the ego. Doing feeds the soul. So train yourself to speak less. Resist the urge to announce your goals. Let your results be the proof. Let others see your work, not hear your intentions. Be like the tree that grows in silence, not the drum that makes noise but stays hollow. Action is the language of the wise. Silence protects your energy. When you stop scattering it in endless talk, you direct it fully into what matters, the task at hand. Remember this: words fade quickly, but deeds endure. Speak less, do more, and your life itself will speak louder than anything you could ever say. Number 20. Life is opinion. Have you ever noticed how two people can live through the same event, yet see it completely differently? One calls it a disaster, the other calls it a lesson. One feels crushed, the other feels strengthened. The event itself is the same. What differs is the opinion. Epictetus taught, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This is the heart of Stoic wisdom. Life is not what happens to you. Life is how you interpret what happens. The insult, the loss, the obstacle, they do not carry meaning on their own. Your mind gives them meaning, and your opinion decides whether you suffer or stand tall. Think about this. Rain falls, that is a fact. But one man curses it, saying it ruins his plans. Another rejoices, knowing it nourishes the fields. Same rain, two lives shaped only by opinion. How often do you trap yourself in misery, not because of reality, but because of the story you choose to tell about reality? This does not mean you should lie to yourself. It means you should see clearly, without exaggeration or despair. Train your mind to ask, is this truly bad, or have I simply judged it so? If it is within your control, act with reason. If it is not, accept it with calm. In both cases, it is your judgment that decides your peace. Remember this: life is not the events you face. Life is the opinions you form about them. Change your opinion, and you change your life. Number 21. Fortune is indifferent. How often do you blame fortune for your struggles? You say, "Why does life treat me this way? Why am I unlucky while others are blessed?" But fortune is not a friend, not an enemy, not even a judge. Fortune does not love you or hate you. Fortune is indifferent. The Stoics taught that what comes from fortune, wealth, health, status, loss, sickness, failure, is neither good nor bad by itself. It is simply given to you, like a tool placed in your hand. The value comes not from the tool itself, but from how you use it. Wealth can corrupt one person and uplift another. Poverty can break one man and strengthen another. The difference is not fortune, it is character. So stop asking life to be fair. Stop expecting fortune to hand you what you desire. Fortune has no concern for your wishes. The rain falls on the just and the unjust. The storm destroys the house of the wise man and the fool alike. What matters is how you respond when fortune shifts. When good fortune comes, accept it with gratitude, but do not cling to it. When bad fortune strikes, endure it with strength, but do not curse it. In both cases, remain steady, because fortune is not the master of your soul. You are. Remember this: fortune is neither blessing nor curse. It is indifferent. The only true good is virtue, and the only true evil is vice. Everything else is raw material for you to shape with wisdom. If you live by this, fortune will never control you again. Number 22. Hardship reveals character. How do you know who you really are? When life is smooth, when the days are easy, anyone can appear calm, kind, and strong. But remove comfort, bring in pain, add loss, and the truth is revealed. Hardship does not create character. It exposes it. It strips away masks, tears off pretenses, and shows the world and you what lies beneath. Seneca said, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Gold shines brightest after it has passed through flames. In the same way, the soul shines brightest after it has endured trials." Without hardship, you do not know if your patience is real. Without suffering, you cannot measure your courage. Without obstacles, your strength remains untested words. Look at how people behave when pressure comes. The selfish reveal their selfishness. The coward shows his fear. The proud man collapses when his pride is wounded. But the disciplined, the just, the steady, they remain who they are, even when fortune turns against them. That is real character. So when hardship arrives at your door, do not curse it. Do not ask, "Why me?" Ask instead, "What will this show about me? What kind of person am I under fire?" Every trial is a mirror. It reflects your true self back to you. Sometimes you will like what you see. Sometimes you will not. Either way, it is the chance to grow. Remember this: hardship reveals character. It is the test that proves whether your philosophy is decoration or armor, whether your strength is talk or truth. Stand firm, endure, and let difficulty show the world that your character is not fragile, it is forged. Number 23. No one can harm your virtue. People may insult you, cheat you, abandon you, or strike you down. They may steal your possessions, ruin your reputation, or cause your body pain. But ask yourself, can they touch your virtue? Can they force you to betray your principles? The answer is no, unless you allow it. The Stoics taught that virtue is the highest good and that it is untouchable by others. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. The world can test you, but only you decide how you respond. Virtue is yours alone. Think about it. A dishonest person cannot make you dishonest. An angry person cannot make you lose your temper. An unjust ruler cannot make you unjust. They can try, they can tempt, they can pressure, but the final choice always belongs to you. This is true freedom. You may lose your wealth, your health, even your life, but as long as you hold fast to justice, courage, wisdom, and self-control, you remain undefeated. That is why Socrates could face death calmly. That is why Stoics endured exile, chains, and suffering without despair, because no matter what was taken from them, their virtue remained untouched. So remind yourself daily, what is mine cannot be harmed. Guard your character more than your fortune. Defend your principles more than your possessions, for in the end, your virtue is the only treasure that cannot be stolen. Remember this, no one can harm your virtue. Only you can give it up. And if you never surrender it, then no matter what happens, you remain truly invincible. Number 24. Reason is your guide. What separates you from the beasts, from the chaos of blind instinct? It is reason, the power to think, to judge, to choose with clarity instead of impulse. And yet, how often do we ignore this gift? How often do we let anger, fear, or desire lead us into regret? The Stoics reminded us, reason is the divine spark within us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." To live without reason is to drift like a ship with no rudder, at the mercy of every storm. But to live with reason is to sail with direction, steady even when the waves rise high. Ask yourself, when I act, am I guided by thought or by impulse? Do I pause to weigh what is in my control, what is just, what is wise? Or do I rush forward, pushed by emotion, only to regret it later? Reason is not cold, it is freedom. It allows you to see clearly, to strip away illusion, to act in harmony with nature. Anger will whisper, strike back. Fear will whisper, run away. Desire will whisper, take more. But reason will ask, is this right? Does this serve me? Does this serve the whole? That voice is your compass. Ignore it, and you stumble. Follow it, and you walk the path of strength. Remember this, reason is your guide. Do not betray it for the noise of your emotions. Trust it, sharpen it, and let it lead you. For as long as reason lights your way, you will never be truly lost. Number 25. Gratitude is freedom. Look around you. How much time do you spend chasing what you do not have, instead of seeing what is already in front of you? Desire is a chain. It ties your happiness to things outside of your control. You say, I will be happy when I earn more, when I am healthier, when life finally gives me what I deserve. But happiness always escapes you when it depends on conditions. Gratitude breaks that chain. The Stoics knew that freedom is not the power to get everything you want. It is the ability to want less, to be content with what is already yours. When you practice gratitude, you stop being a slave to fortune. You stop waiting for more, and you start realizing that you already have enough. Think about it. The air you breathe, the food you eat, the people who love you, the strength you still have, these are gifts. Even your struggles are gifts, for they train your patience and your courage. Gratitude transforms what you once called burdens into lessons. It turns ordinary moments into blessings. And here is the secret. No one can take gratitude from you. Fortune may strip away possessions, health, even status. But if you hold gratitude in your heart, you remain rich. You remain free. So when you wake up, do not count what you lack. Count what you have. When you face hardship, do not curse life. Thank it for the chance to grow stronger. Gratitude is not weakness, it is strength, because it makes you unshakable. Remember this, gratitude is freedom. A grateful man cannot be enslaved by desire, fear, or loss. He already possesses the greatest wealth, contentment. Number 26. Avoid excess. Why is it that what is too much always destroys what could have been good? Food, drink, pleasure, wealth, none of these are evil in themselves. But when taken without measure, they turn from blessings into poisons. The wise enjoy what is enough. The foolish drown themselves in excess. Excess blinds judgment. A man who eats beyond his need weakens his body. One who drinks without restraint loses his reason. A person who chases pleasure without limit becomes restless, never satisfied, always craving more. What begins as enjoyment ends in slavery. Desire whispers, "More will make you happy," but excess always ends in emptiness. The Stoics taught the power of moderation, not denial of life's gifts, but balance. To taste without clinging, to use without abuse, to enjoy without being owned. The one who lives with measure walks freely. The one who lives in excess becomes chained to cravings, dragged wherever they lead. Ask yourself, do I own this habit, or does it own me? Can I stop now, or do I feel pulled to take more? If you cannot stop, then excess has already taken root. The solution is not to curse the world's pleasures, but to master them, to step back, to find the line between enough and too much, and to stay on the right side of it. Remember this: excess always costs more than it gives. Balance is strength. Moderation is freedom. Avoid excess, and you will discover that enough is far richer than more. Number 27. Fear is a choice. How many times has fear held you back? How many chances have you lost because you let your mind whisper, "What if I fail? What if it goes wrong? What if I'm not enough?" Fear feels like a chain, but the truth is, those chains are made in your own mind. Fear is not forced on you, it is chosen. The Stoics understood this clearly. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things." The danger itself is not what paralyzes you, it is your judgment of it. Two people can face the same storm. One trembles and hides, the other stands steady and calm. The storm is the same. The difference is the choice of fear. Think about it. You cannot control what life throws at you, but you can control how you meet it. When you choose courage, fear loses its grip. When you remind yourself, this is only an event, not a monster, the shadow shrinks. Fear feeds on imagination, not on reality. So when fear rises, stop and ask, is this real, or is this my mind exaggerating? Choose to see the challenge as training. Choose to step forward instead of retreating. The moment you act with courage, fear dissolves. Do not wait for fear to disappear before you act. Act and fear will disappear. Remember this: fear is not destiny, it is a decision, and the choice is always yours. Number 28. A wise man is never harmed. What does it mean to be truly untouchable? It does not mean that nothing painful happens to you. It does not mean that fortune spares you from loss, from sickness, from hardship. No, these things come to everyone. What makes the wise man different is that none of these things can wound his soul. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The wise man is master of his mind. He knows the difference between what belongs to him and what does not. His body may suffer, his wealth may vanish, his reputation may be attacked, but his reason, his virtue, his inner peace remain his own. And because no one can take those from him, he is never truly harmed. Think of it like this: the storm can shake the tree, but its roots remain firm. The waves can batter the rock, but the rock does not lose itself. So too with the wise man, life may throw its blows, but he does not give away his calm, his judgment, his integrity. What about insults? They harm only if you grant them power. What about loss? It hurts only if you believe you ever truly owned what was never permanent. What about death? It frightens only if you forget that it is natural. The wise man sees all of these clearly, and so he remains unshaken. Remember this: the world can wound your flesh, but only you can wound your soul, and the wise man never does. That is why he is never harmed. Number 29. Do not expect justice from chance. How often do you feel bitter because life did not give you what you thought you deserved? You worked hard, yet someone else was rewarded. You lived honestly, yet the dishonest seemed to prosper. You waited for fairness, and instead life handed you disappointment. But here is the truth: chance does not deal in justice. Fortune is blind, indifferent, and without order. To expect it to reward the good and punish the bad is to set yourself up for constant pain. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself never to be surprised when bad men succeed or when good men suffer. Why? Because the world does not run according to your sense of fairness. A storm destroys both the farmer who tends his land with care and the one who neglects it. A disease strikes both the virtuous man and the criminal. Chance does not ask who deserves it. So what should you do? Stop expecting justice from fortune and start creating justice within yourself. You cannot control who gets wealth, fame, or health, but you can control how you act. You can live with fairness, with integrity, with honor. That is true justice, the kind no storm, no tyrant, no twist of chance can take away. When you stop expecting life to be fair, you free yourself. You no longer feel betrayed when misfortune comes, and you no longer envy when others prosper. You simply accept that chance belongs to chance, but virtue belongs to you. Remember this: do not expect justice from chance. Expect it from yourself. Fortune may favor the wicked or crush the innocent, but your character, your choices, your soul, these are where true justice lives. Number 30. Self-control is true strength. What does it mean to be strong? Many think it is about lifting heavy weights, conquering others, or commanding power. But look closer. How many men who seem powerful are slaves to their anger, their greed, or their desires? Outward strength is nothing if inward weakness rules. True strength is not in the body, not in possessions, not in control over others. True strength is self-control. The Stoics knew this well. A man who controls himself cannot be conquered. He may lose wealth, yet he does not lose peace. He may be insulted, yet he does not lose dignity. He may suffer pain, yet he does not lose courage. No army, no fortune, no fate can take away the mastery a person has over their own mind. Think about it. When anger rises, it takes far more strength to stay calm than to explode. When temptation comes, it takes more power to resist than to indulge. When fear whispers, it takes more courage to stand firm than to run. Self-control is not weakness. It is the highest form of mastery. So ask yourself, who rules you? Your passions or your reason? Your cravings or your discipline? The one who cannot say no to himself is not free, no matter how rich or powerful he looks. But the one who can govern his impulses stands unshaken, even when the world shakes around him. Remember this: self-control is true strength. The greatest victory is not over others, but over yourself. Conquer your mind, and you will never be defeated. Number 31. Accept insult as wind. When someone mocks you, when they speak against you, when they try to wound you with words, what truly happens? Do their insults cut your skin? Do they break your bones? No. They are only sounds, carried through the air like the wind, and wind cannot harm you unless you chase it, hold it, and make it your burden. The Stoics taught that insults have no power on their own. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." Think carefully. The insult is nothing. It is your judgment of it that gives it weight. If you treat it as important, it grows heavy. If you let it pass like wind, it disappears. Ask yourself, when someone insults you, what changes in you? Does your virtue disappear? Does your character collapse? No. The only danger is if you answer hatred with hatred, anger with anger. Then you wound yourself far more deeply than any insult could. So practice this. When words come against you, stay calm. Do not rush to defend. Do not burn to reply. Let them pass through you like air. The wise man does not chase every gust of wind. He stands firm, unmoved, knowing that words cannot touch what truly matters. To be offended is a choice. To remain steady is also a choice. Which one will you take? Remember this: insult is only wind. Let it blow past you, and you remain untouchable. Number 32. Today is sufficient. How much of your life have you wasted chasing tomorrow? Always waiting, always planning, always telling yourself, "I'll be happy when." But tomorrow is not promised, and yesterday is already gone. The only time you truly have is today, and today, by itself, is enough. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Do not live as though you had 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." He knew that life is short, and the future is uncertain. To postpone living is to refuse the only gift you are certain of, this day. Ask yourself, what do you lack right now, in this very moment? You are breathing. You are alive. You can choose to act with courage, to speak with honesty, to live with virtue. You do not need tomorrow to begin. You do not need perfect conditions to do what is right. You need only today. But many waste the day by treating it as nothing more than a stepping stone to another. They chase, they rush, they overlook the small moments, the smile of a loved one, the peace of a quiet hour, the strength found in simple effort. They miss the richness of today because they are too busy waiting for tomorrow. So stop. Be here. Live today fully, as if it were the only day you were given, because it might be. Do not drag regrets from yesterday into it. Do not load it with fears of tomorrow. Stand firm in the present and let it be enough. Remember this: today is sufficient. If you live it well, you need nothing more. Number 33. You are a citizen of the world. Do you think of yourself as belonging only to your family, your city, your nation? That is too small. The Stoics taught that we are all citizens of the world, parts of one great body, children of the same universe. The air you breathe does not belong to your country. The sun does not shine only for your people. The laws of nature are shared by all. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often, "My city and my country, so far as I am Antoninus, is Rome, but so far as I am a man, it is the world." That is wisdom. You may have local duties to those closest to you, but your greater duty extends to all humanity. Every person you meet is your fellow citizen, no matter their language, their skin, their beliefs. Think about it. When you harm another, you harm yourself, because you are cutting off a part of the whole to which you belong. When you show kindness, When you act with justice, you strengthen the body of which you are a part. To live selfishly, thinking only of yourself, is to forget your true nature. So carry yourself not as a stranger in this world, but as a participant in it. When you see suffering, do what you can. When you see injustice, speak what is right. When you see another human being, remember, this is my fellow citizen. Remember this, you are more than a local, more than a name, more than a title. You are a citizen of the world, and when you live with this truth in mind, your actions become larger, your compassion deeper, your life more in tune with nature itself. Number 34. The soul becomes dyed with thoughts. What fills your mind each day? Do you dwell on anger, envy, fear, and greed? Or do you cultivate gratitude, patience, courage, and calm? Understand this, your soul is shaped by your thoughts. Just as cloth dipped in dye takes on its color, your inner self becomes colored by the thoughts you allow to stay. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This means you cannot think one way and live another. If your mind is dark, your life will be dark. If your mind is noble, your life will reflect that nobility. What you feed your mind is what you become. Every thought is a brushstroke painting your soul. One thought of envy weakens it. One thought of bitterness stains it. But one thought of courage strengthens it. One thought of kindness brightens it. You are always shaping yourself, whether you notice it or not. So guard your thoughts as you would guard your health. Do not let poison into your mind. Do not replay insults. Do not feed desires. Do not nurture fears. Instead, return again and again to thoughts that lift you. Gratitude for what you have, courage for what you face, patience for what you cannot change, justice in how you treat others. Your soul is not fixed. It grows, it bends, it changes, and it changes first in the silence of your thoughts, long before it shows in your actions. Remember this, the soul becomes dyed with thoughts. Choose them wisely, for in time they will become your character, and your character will become your destiny. Number 35. Act justly, love simply. What is the purpose of life, if not to live with justice and to love without complication? Yet, how often do people twist both? Justice becomes clouded with self-interest. Love becomes tangled in pride, control, or greed, and in the end, they wonder why their lives feel heavy. The answer is simple. They forgot simplicity. They forgot virtue. The Stoics taught that justice is the highest duty. To act justly means to give each person their due, to be fair, honest, and upright, no matter the cost. It means refusing to cheat, refusing to harm, refusing to betray what is right, even when no one is watching. When you act justly, your conscience is clear, and a clear conscience is worth more than gold. But justice alone is not enough. A heart without love is dry, cold, and lifeless. To love simply means to care without hidden motives, to give without expecting return, to cherish others as fellow travelers in this short life. Not possessive love, not love mixed with envy or control, but pure, simple, human love. Think about it. The world complicates both justice and love. People look for loopholes. They calculate what they can gain. They weigh their feelings like merchants weigh coins. But the Stoic way is direct. Do what is right, love as you can, and let go of the rest. So let your actions be guided by justice. Let your heart be softened by simple love. Together, they form the foundation of a life worth living. Remember this. Act justly, love simply, Anything more is noise. Anything less is weakness. Number 36. Do not live for applause. Why do you do what you do? Is it because it is right, or because you hope others will notice? Too many waste their lives chasing the sound of clapping hands, the fleeting approval of the crowd. But applause fades. Today they cheer, tomorrow they forget. If you live for praise, you hand your peace to strangers who do not even know you. Marcus Aurelius warned, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Think about that. You place your happiness in the hands of people whose judgment means nothing, whose memory is short, whose praise is shallow. What could be more foolish? The wise man acts not for applause, but for principle. He does what is right because it is right, not because it will be noticed. He works quietly, with discipline, with dignity, content to let his actions speak for themselves. Praise may come, or it may not. Either way, it changes nothing. Virtue is its own reward. Ask yourself, would I still do this if no one knew? Would I still live this way if no one praised me? If the answer is no, then you are not living for truth. You are living for noise, and noise cannot sustain you. Remember this: do not live for applause. Live for reason, for virtue, for the inner approval of your own mind. The crowd will come and go, but your conscience is with you forever. Let it be the only audience you need. Number 37. Serenity comes from discipline. Why do so many people live in constant restlessness, always chasing peace, but never finding it? They think serenity comes from comfort, from ease, from escaping responsibility. But the truth is the opposite. Comfort makes you weak, indulgence makes you restless, and running away only deepens your anxiety. Real serenity, the kind that lasts, comes only through discipline. Think about your own life. When have you felt the most calm? Was it when you gave in to every desire, when you followed every impulse? Or was it when you held yourself steady, when you lived with purpose, when you knew you were in control of yourself? The mind is like a wild horse. Left unchecked, it runs in every direction. But trained with discipline, it becomes powerful and calm. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Discipline is not a prison. It is freedom. It frees you from slavery to anger, to fear, to desire. It gives you command over your own mind. And from that command comes serenity, because nothing external can shake the one who governs himself. So do not look for peace in luxury or escape. Look for it in training your will. Rise early, control your tongue, master your appetites, guard your thoughts. Each small act of discipline is a stone laid on the foundation of inner calm. Remember this: serenity does not fall into your lap by luck. It is earned, built, and protected through discipline. The more you rule yourself, the less the world can disturb you. True peace is not the absence of struggle. It is the victory of self-mastery. Number 38. Life is borrowed. Why do you live as if life were something you owned? Why do you waste hours, days, even years, as though they were yours to spend without end? The truth is simple and often ignored. Life is not given to you forever. It is borrowed. Every breath, every heartbeat, every sunrise you see is on loan. And one day, without warning, it will be taken back. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He understood that death is not a thief, it is the natural collector. We are tenants in this world, not owners. Time is not ours to keep, only ours to use. So why act as though you have an endless supply of tomorrows? How many people live in delay, saying, "I will begin tomorrow. I will live better when things change. I will pursue what matters later." But later is not promised. Life is borrowed, and the lender does not tell you when the debt will be due. This is not a reason for despair. It is a reason to live with urgency, to treat each day as precious, to waste nothing on bitterness, on trivial arguments, on empty distractions, to spend your borrowed life on what is worthy: virtue, truth, love, courage. Ask yourself tonight, if life were taken from me tomorrow, would I be content with how I live today? If not, change. Do not wait. Remember this: life is borrowed. You do not own the time you have, you only borrow it. Spend it wisely, for once it is gone, no amount of wealth or pleading will buy it back. Number 39. Time is the true wealth. People chase money, possessions, and status as if these were the treasures of life. But ask yourself, what is gold without time to enjoy it? What is power if your days are slipping away unnoticed? Wealth can be counted in coins, but true wealth is measured in hours, in moments, in the breath you are taking right now. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Think about that. Life does not cheat you of years. You cheat yourself by spending them carelessly. You guard your money with locks and accounts, but you let your days slip away to distraction, gossip, and empty pursuits. And once time is gone, no fortune can buy it back. Every day you wake is a gift. Every hour is a coin spent. The question is, are you spending it on what matters or throwing it away as if you had an endless supply? You do not. Death may come tomorrow or 50 years from now, you cannot know. But you can know this: the clock is always ticking. So treat time as your greatest possession. Be cautious with it. Do not give it cheaply to trivial things, to meaningless arguments, to endless scrolling and noise. Spend it with care on what builds you, on what nourishes you, on those you love, and on the virtues that make you whole. Remember this: time is the true wealth. Guard it, honor it, and invest it wisely, because it is the one treasure that once spent can never return. Number 40. The universe is your home. Why do you cling so tightly to one place, one city, one corner of the world, as if that alone were where you belong? You are not a stranger here. You are not a visitor. You are a citizen of the universe itself. The stars above, the earth beneath, the air you breathe, all of it is your home. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "My city and fatherland, so far as I am Antoninus, is Rome, but so far as I am a man, it is the world." He understood that our true home is not a single piece of land, but the whole of existence. To think otherwise is to make yourself small, to divide yourself from what you are already part of. Think about it. The same sun warms us all. The same rain falls on every field. The same laws of nature guide every life, from the smallest insect to the greatest king. To say, "This is mine, that is yours," is to forget that everything is shared. We are all children of the same cosmos. So what does this mean for you? It means you need not fear being far from home. You are always in it. It means you must not treat others as outsiders, for they too belong here as much as you. And it means that the troubles of one part of the world are not distant. They are part of your own household. Remember this: the universe is your home. Do not shrink yourself to the walls of your house or the borders of your country. Lift your eyes. See the whole. Live as a citizen of the cosmos, and you will never feel out of place. Number 41. Do what duty requires. How often do you hesitate when faced with responsibility? You think of excuses, you delay, you hope someone else will act. But deep inside, you already know what must be done. The Stoics taught that peace comes not from avoiding duty, but from fulfilling it. To do less than what duty requires is to betray yourself. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that he was not born to sleep, to eat, or to seek pleasure. He was born to work with others, to serve the whole, to act in accordance with reason and justice. That was his duty as a man, as an emperor, as a citizen of the world. And the same is true for you. You are here not for idleness, but for purpose. Duty may not always be pleasant. It may ask you to sacrifice comfort, to endure hardship, to put others before yourself. But what is the alternative? To live selfishly, to betray your principles, to ignore what is right. That path may bring short comfort, but it leaves the soul restless and heavy with guilt. So when the voice of hesitation whispers in your mind, silence it. Do not ask, "What will bring me ease?" Ask instead, "What does duty require of me now?" And then act, whether it is speaking the truth, helping a friend, facing hardship with courage, or simply performing your daily tasks with care. Do it fully, without complaint. Remember this: the good life is not built on constant comfort, but on constant duty. When you fulfill what is required of you, you live in harmony with nature, with reason, with your true self. And in that harmony lies strength, peace, and honor. Number 42. Vices are louder than voices. Why is it that a man's wisdom can be drowned out by his own weakness? Why is it that one bad habit can speak louder than 100 good words? This is the danger of vice. Virtue is steady, calm, and often quiet. Vice is loud, demanding, and destructive. And if you let it rule, it will silence reason, drown out conscience, and ruin your life. Think about it. Anger shouts while patience whispers. Greed demands more while gratitude is content with little. Lust burns hot while self-control speaks gently. Cowardice cries out in fear while courage stays calm and steady. This is why so many fall. Their vices scream so loudly that they can no longer hear the quiet guidance of their better self. The Stoics taught that reason must be the ruler, but reason does not force itself on you. It waits for you to choose it. Vice, on the other hand, crashes in uninvited, grabs hold of your mind and blinds you. That is why the fight for virtue is not easy. It requires vigilance. It requires discipline. It requires the courage to quiet the noise of vice so that the voice of wisdom can be heard. So examine yourself honestly. What vice speaks the loudest in your life? Anger, greed, pride? Do not ignore it. Do not excuse it. Face it directly and silence it with action. Replace anger with calm, greed with contentment, lust with discipline, fear with courage. Remember this: vices are louder than voices, but noise is not strength. Wisdom is often quiet. If you can silence the clamor of vice, you will hear the voice of virtue guiding you toward freedom. Number 43. To want nothing is divine. Desire pulls at you every day. More comfort, more possessions, more recognition. always more. But have you noticed? The more you get, the more you want. Desire is endless, and those who chase it are never free. They are chained not by iron, but by their own longing. The Stoics taught that the highest state is not to need, not to crave, but to stand complete within yourself. To want nothing is to rise above fortune's games. When nothing is missing, nothing can be taken from you. When you stop chasing, you stop suffering. Think about it. Gods are not ruled by desire. They are full, content, needing nothing. And when a human being reaches the point where he can say, "I have enough, I need no more," he touches something divine. He is untouchable by envy, untouched by greed, unbroken by loss. So practice this. The next time desire whispers, "You must have this," pause and ask, "What if I didn't? Would I still live? Would I still be myself?" Almost always, the answer is yes. The things you think you need are illusions. The truth is, you already have what matters. Your reason, your virtue, your mind. Everything else is extra. To want nothing does not mean to reject life's blessings. It means to enjoy them without chains, to accept them when they come, and to let them go without grief when they leave. Remember this: to want nothing is divine. It is the highest freedom, the deepest peace, and the surest path to wisdom. Number 44. All men err, the wise forgive. How many times have you been wrong? How many times have you spoken in anger, acted without thought, failed to live up to your own standards? If you are honest, the answer is countless. And if you, who wish to live with reason, fall into error, why are you surprised when others do the same? To be human is to stumble. To expect perfection is to deny nature. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." He did not write this in bitterness, but in preparation, so that when others failed, he would meet them with understanding, not outrage. The fool demands that others never offend, never fail, never harm. The wise man expects mistakes, and so he is never shocked by them. He does not excuse evil, but he does not poison himself with hatred. He understands that forgiveness is not weakness, but strength. The strength to let go of bitterness, to free himself from carrying another man's error as a burden on his own back. So when someone wrongs you, pause. Remind yourself, I too have erred. I too have needed forgiveness. To forgive is not to approve of wrong, but to rise above it. It is to keep your peace while others lose theirs. Remember this: all men err, the wise forgive. For in forgiveness, the wise man proves his freedom, free from resentment, free from revenge, free to live in harmony with himself and with others. Number 45. Examine yourself daily. At the end of each day, do you pause and look inward, or do you rush into sleep without questioning how you lived? Most people go through life without ever holding themselves accountable. They point fingers outward, blaming fortune, blaming others, blaming chance. But the Stoics knew a better way. Turn the judgment inward. Examine yourself daily. Seneca wrote that every night he questioned his actions. He asked himself, what weakness did I overcome? What passion did I master? Where did I fail? What can I do better tomorrow? This habit kept his soul clear. It was not about punishment, but about progress. To live without reflection is to repeat the same mistakes endlessly. To live with daily self-examination is to grow stronger each day. Think about it. You polish a blade to keep it sharp. You clean a room to keep it in order. Why would you not do the same for your soul? Each day leaves stains of anger, of fear, of wasted time. If you do not wash them off, they harden into habit. But if you examine yourself, you see them clearly, and once seen, they can be changed. This practice requires honesty. Do not flatter yourself. Do not excuse yourself. Look at your actions as if you were a judge over another. Praise what was done well, correct what was done poorly, and resolve to do better tomorrow. Remember this: no one can escape himself. Wherever you go, your character follows. Examine yourself daily, and you will not fear judgment, because you will already be living as your own judge, your own guide, your own teacher. Number 46. The mind shapes reality. Why do two people face the same event, yet one sees disaster while the other sees opportunity? Why does one collapse under hardship while the other grows stronger from it? The difference is not in the world, it is in the mind. Reality is not simply what happens to you. Reality is how your mind chooses to see it. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your mind is the lens through which all of life is filtered. If your thoughts are poisoned, the world will look poisoned. If your thoughts are disciplined, calm, and steady, then even chaos will not break you. The mind does not just observe reality, it shapes it. Think of fear. Fear turns shadows into monsters, turns challenges into impossibilities. Yet courage turns the same shadows into stepping stones. Think of anger. Anger turns small offenses into great insults. Yet patience turns them into nothing at all. The event is the same, but the mind makes the meaning. So train your mind daily. Do not let it wander without control. Watch your thoughts because they are not harmless. They create the world you live in. Fill your mind with bitterness, and you will live in a bitter world. Fill it with gratitude, and you will live in a world of abundance. The outside world is vast, but your inner world decides how you experience it. Remember this: the mind shapes reality. Guard it carefully. Direct it wisely. For the world you live in is not only outside you, it is also inside you. And if you master your mind, you will master your life. Number 47. Pleasure is fleeting, virtue remains. How many chase pleasure as if it were the purpose of life? Food, drink, comfort, lust. The thrill comes quickly, but it fades just as fast. What satisfied you yesterday leaves you empty today. Pleasure is a flame that burns bright for a moment, then vanishes into smoke. And the one who builds his life on it is left always hungry, always restless, never whole. The Stoics knew better. They taught that virtue, not pleasure, is the foundation of a good life. Pleasure fades, but virtue endures. A just act, a disciplined choice, a courageous stand, these remain long after the thrill of desire has gone. The memory of pleasure weakens with time, but the strength of virtue grows. Think about it. The indulgence of a single night is forgotten, but the dignity of a life lived with integrity lasts forever. A wise person does not despise pleasure, but they never serve it. They enjoy it when it comes, but they do not chase it like a master chases a slave. Pleasure can be stolen, interrupted, or denied. Virtue cannot. Pleasure depends on fortune, on conditions outside you. Virtue depends only on you, on your choices, on your will. And that is why it brings true peace. So the question is simple. Will you live for what passes or for what endures? The Stoic chooses the lasting over the fading, the eternal over the temporary. Remember this: pleasure is fleeting, virtue remains. Build your life on what time cannot erase. Number 48. The wise man adapts. Life does not bend to your will. Plans fail. Seasons change. People leave. Fortune turns without warning. If you cling stubbornly to how things should be, you will suffer endlessly. But if you learn to adapt, to bend without breaking, you will remain unshaken no matter what comes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The cucumber is bitter, then throw it away. There are brambles in the path, then go around." He did not waste time complaining about what could not be changed. He acted, he adjusted, he moved forward. That is the way of the wise. Think about water. It does not resist the shape of the rock. It flows around it. Yet in time, it wears down even the hardest stone. The wise man is like water, flexible, patient, unyielding in spirit, but adaptable in form. He does not demand that the world arrange itself for his comfort. Instead, he arranges himself to meet the world as it is. So when obstacles appear, do not sit and curse them. Do not say, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, ask, "How can I adjust? What new path is possible? How can I turn this to my advantage?" The man who adapts is never trapped, because he always finds a way forward. Remember this: the fool resists and breaks. The wise man adapts and survives. It is not the strongest tree that endures the storm, but the one that bends with the wind. Be like that tree, rooted in virtue, yet flexible in action. In this way, you will never be defeated, only reshaped, only strengthened. Number 49. Suffering is a teacher. Why do you see suffering only as an enemy? You curse it, you resist it, you pray for it to pass quickly. But suffering has always been one of life's greatest teachers. It shows you what comfort hides. It reveals strength you did not know you had. It forces you to grow in ways that ease never could. Think of the strongest people you know. Were they shaped by soft days and easy pleasures? Or were they formed in the fire of hardship? A body grows strong through resistance. A mind grows wise through trials. A soul grows deep through pain. Without suffering, there is no depth, no resilience, no real wisdom. The Stoics understood this. Seneca said, "Fire tests gold, misfortune tests brave men." The suffering you endure is not meaningless. It is a forge. It burns away illusions, pride, and weakness. It leaves behind clarity, patience, and endurance. So when suffering comes, do not waste it. Do not cry only, "Why me?" Ask instead, "What can this teach me?" Let your pain become a classroom. Let every loss, every wound, every disappointment carve lessons into your character. Remember, suffering will visit everyone. No one escapes it. But not everyone learns from it. Some are broken, others are built. The difference lies in how you see it. Remember this: suffering is not just pain, it is a teacher. If you listen, it will give you wisdom. No book, no lecture, no comfort ever could. If you endure with open eyes, suffering will leave you stronger than it found you. Number 50. Death is liberation. Why do you cling to life as if death were chains? Why do you tremble at the thought of the end as if it were the worst of evils? Look deeper. Death is not a prison. It is a release. It is the closing of a door, not the locking of one. It is the final breath that frees you from pain, from struggle, from the burdens every living soul must carry. Death is not bondage. Death is liberation. The Stoics reminded themselves daily that life is a temporary station. We come, we play our part, we endure both joy and hardship, and then we leave. To fear death is to fear nature itself. Do you fear when the sun sets? Do you fear when the tide goes out? They are not endings, but transitions. In the same way, death is not evil. It is simply the natural release from duty. Think of how many live in constant suffering, disease, grief, injustice, toil. Death does not increase their burden. It ends it. It returns the soul to stillness, the body to earth, the spirit to peace. Those who fear death chain themselves to anxiety. Those who accept it walk freely, knowing nothing can truly harm them. So when your time comes, do not resist like a prisoner dragged to execution. Go as a traveler laying down a heavy load. Go as one who has finished his task, ready to rest. Remember this: death is liberation. It frees you from fear, from pain, from the illusions of control. To live well is to be ready, not with terror, but with calm. For the one who sees death clearly will no longer waste life in fear of it. Number 51. Anger blinds judgment. How many times have you spoken words in anger and later wished you could take them back? How many times have you made choices in rage that brought nothing but regret? Anger feels powerful in the moment, but in truth, it weakens you. It clouds the mind, poisons the heart, and blinds judgment. Seneca wrote an entire book warning against anger, calling it a kind of temporary madness. And he was right. When anger takes over, reason is pushed aside. You no longer see clearly. You no longer act wisely. You strike not at the problem, but at anyone near you, and often you cause more harm to yourself than to others. Think about it. Would you hand the reins of your life to a drunk? Then why hand them to anger? Both rob you of control. Both cloud your vision. Both drag you where you do not want to go. The Stoic way is different. When anger rises, step back. Breathe. Remind yourself, this moment will pass. My judgment must remain. Ask, is this worth my peace? Is this worth damaging my character? Almost always the answer is no. Anger promises strength but delivers weakness. It promises justice but creates more injustice. It promises control but steals it away. So train yourself daily. Be slow to anger, quick to reason. Respond with clarity, not fire. Remember this: anger blinds judgment. If you let it lead, you will stumble. If you master it, you will see clearly, and clarity is true power. Number 52. Life's brevity is its beauty. Why do you fear that life is short? Why do you mourn the fact that your days are numbered? Would you rather live forever, without urgency, without meaning, drifting endlessly as though time were infinite? It is precisely because life is brief that it is precious. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. The Stoics did not see this as gloomy. They saw it as freeing. Knowing that time is limited is what makes every moment valuable. The flower is beautiful, not because it lasts, but because it fades. The sunset stirs us, not because it is eternal, but because it vanishes within minutes. So too with your life. You are not here to waste your days in distraction, in complaint, in delay. You are here for a short season. No one knows how long. And that is what gives your actions weight. Every choice matters, because you will not have endless chances. Every word matters because one day it will be your last. Do not envy immortality. Imagine endless days without urgency, without finality. Soon nothing would seem important. Brevity gives life its sharpness, its urgency, its fire. You wake, you love, you act, you strive, because you know time runs swiftly. Remember this: life's brevity is its beauty. Do not curse it, embrace it. Let it remind you to live fully now, to speak kindly now, to act bravely now. For the clock is always ticking, and that is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. Number 53. Be indifferent to praise. Why do you crave praise so much? Why do you let the words of others decide your worth? One day they applaud you, the next they forget you. One moment you are admired, the next you are ignored. Praise is unstable, fleeting, and never in your control. If your happiness depends on it, then you have handed your freedom to the crowd. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that fame and praise are nothing but echoes, empty sounds that fade quickly. The crowd does not know your heart, your effort, your intentions. They praise what they see on the surface, often for reasons that have nothing to do with virtue. If you build your life on that, you build it on sand. Think about this. The same crowd that praises you today may condemn you tomorrow. The same people who cheer for you may turn against you when fortune shifts. Will you change your values each time their voices change? If so, you are not living for yourself, you are living as their slave. The Stoic way is different. Do not seek to be praised, seek to be good. Virtue needs no witness. Integrity does not depend on applause. Do what is right because it is right, not because someone will notice. Let your own conscience be your judge. So when praise comes, accept it without arrogance. When it does not come, do not feel robbed. Neither condition changes who you are. Remember this: be indifferent to praise. To need it is weakness. To rise above it is strength. The man who does not hunger for approval is truly free. Number 54. Do not resist fate. Why do you fight what cannot be fought? Why do you struggle against the flow of life, as if your protest could change the course of the universe? Fate does not ask for your permission. It does not stop for your tears. It moves forward, steady and unshaken, whether you resist or accept. The more you resist, the more you suffer. The more you accept, the more you find peace. The Stoics saw this truth clearly. Cleanthes said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." Think about that. Life is like a river. You may fight the current, thrash and exhaust yourself, or you may move with it, steering where you can, calm and steady. The current will not change for you, but you can change how you meet it. So when hardship comes, do not cry out, "This should not have happened." When loss comes, do not say, "This is unfair." Fate does not deal in fairness or unfairness. It deals in reality. To resist reality is to resist truth itself. What good can come from that? None. But to accept it, to embrace it, is to walk in step with nature. Acceptance does not mean weakness. It does not mean you stop acting. It means you act only where you can, and you let go where you cannot. It means you live in harmony with the world instead of in battle against it. Remember this: do not resist fate. Resistance brings chains. Acceptance brings freedom. Walk with fate, not against it, and you will discover strength where others only find despair. Number 55. The just man is invincible. What can defeat the man who always chooses what is right? Can riches tempt him? No, because he does not sell his soul. Can threats bend him? No, because he would rather suffer than betray justice. Can lies or insults harm him? No, because his character does not depend on the noise of others. The man who acts justly cannot be conquered. He is invincible. The Stoics taught that justice is not only a virtue, but a shield. To live justly means to live in harmony with nature, to give each person their due, to never harm, deceive, or oppress. And when you walk this path, no external force can truly touch you. They may take your possessions, they may confine your body, but they cannot stain your soul. Think about it. Tyrants fear the just because they cannot be corrupted. The dishonest hate the just because they cannot be deceived. The unjust cannot defeat the just because nothing can make him abandon his principles. His strength does not come from wealth, armies, or fortune. It comes from his integrity. This is why Socrates drank the poison calmly, why Marcus Aurelius bore the weight of an empire with fairness, why the Stoics endured exile and chains without despair. They understood that injustice harms the doer more than the victim, and that justice makes a man unbreakable. So ask yourself daily, am I living with justice? Am I harming no one? Am I giving each what is due? If you can answer yes, then you carry an armor stronger than iron. Remember this, the just man is invincible because nothing can make him betray his soul. Number 56. Silence is strength. Why do you rush to speak? Why do you feel the need to answer every insult, to prove every point, to fill every silence with noise? Words spoken without thought are weakness. They betray impatience, vanity, and lack of control. But silence, chosen silence, is power. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." The wise man does not fear silence. He uses it. He lets others reveal themselves while he observes, learns, and waits. He speaks only when words are necessary, when they add weight, when they serve truth. Think about it. An insult loses power when you do not answer it. A fool reveals himself more with each word he throws, while the one who remains silent shows mastery. Anger grows weaker in the face of calm. Gossip dies when it finds no reply. Silence is not surrender, it is discipline. But silence is not only for others, it is also for yourself. In silence, the mind clears. In silence, you hear your own thoughts. In silence, you discover what truly matters. Noise distracts, but silence strengthens. It gives you control over yourself, and that is the highest form of strength. So the next time you are tempted to speak in haste, pause. Ask yourself, will these words serve me, or am I wasting my power? Often the strongest reply is no reply at all. Remember this, silence is strength. The man who controls his tongue controls himself, and the man who controls himself cannot be shaken. Number 57. Nothing belongs to you. Look around at all the things you call yours, your house, your money, your body, even the people you love. Do you truly own them? Or are they only on loan from fortune, ready to be taken back at any moment? The Stoics were clear. Nothing belongs to you, not even your own breath. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that everything is borrowed from nature and will return to it. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, the possessions you cling to, all of it will one day belong to someone else. Even your body, which you call mine, will return to the earth. If you live as if these things are permanent, you live in illusion. But there is freedom in this truth. If nothing belongs to you, then nothing can truly be stolen from you. You can lose wealth, but wealth was never yours. You can lose status, but status was never yours. You can lose health, but health was always a gift. You can lose even life itself, but life was never ownership. It was only time granted. So, how should you live? Hold everything lightly. Use what you have with gratitude, but do not cling. Love the people around you deeply, but remember they are not your possessions. They are fellow travelers, here for a while, gone when nature calls them back. Remember this, nothing belongs to you. The only thing that is truly yours is your character, your choices, your virtue. Everything else is passing through your hands for a short while. Live with this awareness, and you will no longer fear loss. You will simply accept the return of what was never truly yours. Number 58. Do not fear loss. Why do you cling so tightly to what cannot stay? Why do you tremble at the thought of losing people, possessions, or status, as if they were truly yours to keep? Look closer. Nothing you hold is permanent. Everything in life is borrowed, and one day it will be returned. To fear loss is to fear the nature of life itself. Epictetus taught, "Never say of anything, 'I have lost it,' but only, 'I have returned it.'" The house, the wealth, the body, even the people you love, none of these were guaranteed to you forever. They were gifts on loan. To fear their loss is to forget their nature. To accept their passing is to honor what they were. Loss is not the end of life, it is part of life. Seasons change, rivers flow, stars burn out, and so do the things in our hands. The wise do not cling. They enjoy fully while they have, and when it is gone, they let go with dignity. The foolish clutch so tightly that they poison the present with the fear of the future. Ask yourself, how many moments have you spoiled by fearing their end? How many joys have you ruined by worrying they won't last? This is the great trap, clinging so hard to life that you never truly live it. So do not fear loss. Instead, live with gratitude. Cherish what you have while it is here, but hold it lightly, knowing it was never yours to own. Remember this, do not fear loss, for loss is not the enemy. Fear instead a wasted life, where you let the dread of losing rob you of the joy of living. Number 59. What is yours is your mind. Look at the world around you. The things you call mine, your money, your house, your clothes, even your own body, can be taken away in an instant. Fortune gives and fortune takes. But there is one thing no thief, no ruler, no disaster can steal from you: your mind. That alone is truly yours. Epictetus taught this with force. He reminded his students that everything outside your mind is not in your control, and therefore not truly yours. Your reputation, your possessions, even your health. These all belong partly to chance, but your judgments, your choices, your reason, these belong fully to you. Think about it. A man may be stripped of wealth, yet still remain noble. He may lose his freedom, yet remain free inside. He may suffer pain, yet keep his dignity. Why? Because his mind is still his own. So guard it carefully. Do not trade it for approval. Do not poison it with envy, fear, or anger. Do not surrender it to the noise of the crowd. If you lose your fortune, you lose nothing. If you lose your mind, you lose everything. Practice this daily. When trouble comes, remind yourself, what is mine is safe, for my mind is mine. Hold fast to reason, to virtue, to clarity. Remember this: what is yours is your mind. Protect it, guide it, and no force on earth can make you poor. Number 60. Be master of yourself. What good is it to conquer cities, to win wealth, to gain power, if in the end you cannot rule yourself? The man who cannot master his desires, his anger, his fear, is a slave, even if he sits on a throne. But the one who governs his own mind is free, even in chains. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not given by fortune. It is not found in possessions or titles. It is found in discipline. Discipline over your thoughts, your words, your actions. If you cannot resist temptation, you are ruled by it. If you cannot hold your tongue, you are ruled by anger. If you cannot control your mind, you are ruled by chaos. So ask yourself daily, who commands me, my reason or my impulses? The answer determines everything. To live as a master of yourself is to be steady while others are tossed by emotion. It is to remain calm in insult, patient in delay, disciplined in pleasure, courageous in pain. It is to live by principle, not by whim. Do not mistake mastery for repression. It is not about denying that you feel anger, fear, or desire. It is about refusing to be controlled by them. The wise man feels deeply, but acts rightly. He governs himself as a king governs a city, with order, with justice, with strength. Remember this: be master of yourself. If you do not rule your mind, it will rule you. And the greatest victory a man can win is not over the world, but over himself. Number 61. Endure with dignity. When hardship strikes, how do you carry yourself? Do you cry out, curse your fate, and let suffering bend you low? Or do you stand firm, steady, and unbroken in spirit? The Stoics taught that suffering is not shameful, but how you endure it can be. Pain and loss may not be in your control, but dignity always is. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them as they happen, and your life will go smoothly." You may not choose the storm, but you can choose how you stand in it. Endurance without complaint is strength. Endurance with bitterness is weakness. Dignity means bearing what comes without lowering yourself, without surrendering your character to grief or rage. Think of Marcus Aurelius carrying the weight of an empire through wars, plagues, and betrayal. He did not choose these trials, but he endured them without self-pity. He reminded himself that the universe owed him nothing. His only duty was to meet each blow with courage, each hardship with calm. That is what dignity looks like. So when suffering comes to you, and it will, do not waste yourself asking, "Why me?" Instead, tell yourself, "This is the test life has set before me. I will bear it with honor." The pain may remain, but the humiliation vanishes. You rise above what could have broken you. Remember this: endurance is not just surviving, it is surviving well. To endure with dignity is to prove that while fortune may strike your body, it cannot touch your soul. Number 62. Seek progress, not perfection. Why do you demand perfection from yourself, as if flawlessness were the measure of a good life? Why do you punish yourself for mistakes, stumble once and call it failure, or quit because the path feels uneven? Perfection is an illusion. It does not exist in man, in nature, or in life. The Stoics knew this. The goal is not perfection, but progress. Marcus Aurelius never wrote as a perfect man. He wrote as a man trying each day to be better than the day before. Epictetus did not teach that the wise never fall, but that they rise again each time they stumble. Progress is the measure. Did you act with more patience today than yesterday? Did you resist anger longer than before? Did you live closer to your principles, even in small steps? That is victory. Perfection paralyzes. It whispers, if you cannot do it perfectly, do not try. But progress frees. It says, take one step, then another. Keep moving forward. A mountain is not climbed in a single leap, but in steady steps. Character is built the same way, slowly, daily, with effort and correction. So when you fail, do not curse yourself. Learn. When you fall, do not stay down. Rise. When you see how far you still have to go, do not despair. Rejoice that you have direction. The man who seeks progress will grow strong. The man who demands perfection will grow weary and bitter. Remember this: seek progress, not perfection. The wise man is not flawless. He is simply moving forward, step by step, becoming better than he was yesterday. Number 63. True freedom is inner. Many believe freedom means doing whatever you want, chasing desires, escaping duties, avoiding limits. But is that real freedom? Or is it simply another form of slavery? Slavery to appetite, to fear, to fortune. The Stoics taught that true freedom is not found outside, but within. Epictetus, once a slave, was freer than many emperors because he understood this. Freedom comes from mastery of the self. You are free when no desire controls you. You are free when no fear chains you. You are free when your peace does not rise and fall with fortune's gifts. That is the freedom no ruler can grant and no tyrant can take. Think carefully. A man who must drink to be happy is not free. A woman who must be praised to feel worthy is not free. A king who trembles at losing his throne is not free. But the one who governs himself, who needs little, who remains steady in both gain and loss, that person is untouchable. So stop looking for freedom in possessions, in status, in the permission of others. Look within. Ask yourself, do I rule my mind or does it rule me? That answer decides whether you are free or bound. Practice this. Detach from what you cannot control. Master your impulses. Choose calm over panic, clarity over passion. Each step you take in self-command is a step into true liberty. Remember this: true freedom is inner. Until you govern yourself, you will always serve something else. Number 64. Everything is opinion. Look closely at the troubles that disturb you. Are they facts or are they judgments? Most often, it is not the event itself that causes pain, but the meaning you attach to it. An insult is only sound. Your opinion makes it an injury. Poverty is only lack of possessions. Your opinion makes it misery. Death is only the end of life. Your opinion makes it evil. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That is the key. You cannot control the world, but you can control your judgment of it. And if you control your judgment, you control your peace. Think about two men facing the same storm. One curses it, seeing only misfortune. The other thanks it, knowing it waters the fields. Same storm, different opinion, different life. So ask yourself in every trial, am I suffering because of the thing itself or because of the story I tell about it? This does not mean you must lie to yourself. It means you must see clearly. Events are neutral. Your mind gives them weight. You cannot choose what happens, but you can always choose how to interpret it. That choice is freedom. Remember this: everything is opinion. Guard your mind, for it decides whether you live in turmoil or in peace. Change your opinion, and the world itself changes with it. Number 65. Work is medicine. How often do you feel restless, heavy with thoughts, drowning in worries that never seem to end? You sit idle, and your mind becomes your own tormentor. Idleness feeds anxiety, but work cures it. Work is medicine. The Stoics knew that action is the antidote to despair. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. Why? Because man was made for action. Just as the eye is made to see and the hand is made to grasp, the soul is made to act with reason and purpose. To deny that nature is to fall sick in spirit. When you throw yourself into your duty, whether great or small, you silence the restless noise within. Work gives structure to chaos. It channels your energy into creation instead of destruction. Even grief, even fear, even anger lose their grip when you are busy fulfilling what life asks of you. This does not mean chasing endless busyness. It means purposeful action. Do what is in front of you with care and attention. Clean a room, finish a task, help a friend, study a page of wisdom. Small acts done with discipline heal the mind better than hours of brooding ever could. So when your thoughts grow heavy, do not sit and drown in them. Rise and work. Let your hands, your mind, your effort become the cure. Remember this: work is medicine. The one who acts with purpose is never truly sick in spirit. The one who moves forward, step by step, will always find strength waiting for him in the doing. Number 66. Do not demand ease. Why do you wish for life to be easy? Why do you pray for fewer struggles, lighter burdens, smoother roads? Ease does not make you strong. Ease does not build wisdom. Ease does not prepare you for the storms that will come, whether you want them or not. To demand ease is to demand weakness. The Stoics knew that comfort softens the mind. A life without resistance produces a fragile soul, quick to break when hardship arrives. But a life tested, trained, and challenged becomes unshakable. The wrestler does not grow strong without an opponent. The sailor does not learn skill on calm waters. The soul too needs resistance to grow. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself not to pray for a lighter load, but for stronger shoulders. This is the heart of strength, not hoping for life to spare you, but training yourself to endure whatever life brings. If you demand ease, you will live in constant disappointment because fate will never grant it. But if you embrace challenge, you will find dignity in every trial. So when hardship comes, do not say, I deserve better. Say instead, this is the test I was made for. When the path is steep, do not wish it flat. Climb with patience. When the storm rages, do not demand calm. Steer your ship with steady hands. Remember this: do not demand ease. Demand instead the strength to endure. For the man who stops begging for comfort and learns to carry weight will never be broken, no matter how heavy life becomes. Number 67. Simplicity is strength. Why do we complicate our lives with endless wants, heavy schedules, and needless noise? Why do we pile more onto ourselves and then wonder why we feel weak, tired, and distracted? The truth is simple. The more clutter you carry, the less strength you have. Simplicity is not poverty, it is power. The Stoics lived this truth. They wore plain clothes, ate simple meals, and spoke in clear words. Not because they despised comfort, but because they knew excess weakens the soul. When you depend on luxuries, you are fragile. When you need little, you are unshakable. Think about it. A soldier does not march into battle weighed down with gold and ornaments. He carries only what is necessary, because only then can he move freely and fight well. Life is the same. Simplicity clears the path. It gives you focus. It gives you resilience. Simplicity in living, being content with little, frees you from greed. Simplicity in speech, saying only what is true and necessary, frees you from lies and regret. Simplicity in thought, keeping your mind steady on what matters, frees you from confusion. This is strength, to need less, to waste nothing, to live in harmony with what is essential. Do not mistake it for weakness. Anyone can drown in luxury. It takes true power to stand strong with little. Remember this: simplicity is strength. Strip away what is useless, and you will find yourself lighter, freer, and stronger than ever before. Number 68. Do not envy the rich. Why do you envy the rich? Do you think gold can buy peace of mind? Do you think palaces can protect a man from fear, from pain, from death? Look closer. The wealthy still worry, still quarrel, still fall ill, still die. Riches add comfort, yes, but they cannot buy virtue, and without virtue, a man is poor no matter how much he owns. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Riches do not satisfy desire, they inflame it. The more you have, the more you want, the more you fear losing. The poor man who desires nothing is richer than the wealthy man enslaved by greed. Ask yourself, what do the rich truly gain that nature has not already given you? Do they breathe better air? Do they drink sweeter water? Do they sleep more soundly? Often it is the opposite. The simple man with few possessions rests easier than the rich man, chained to his wealth by anxiety and pride. Do not confuse wealth with happiness. Happiness comes from character, from discipline, from peace within. The rich cannot buy freedom from vice. They cannot purchase wisdom. They cannot bribe death. In the end, they return to the same earth as you, leaving all their treasures behind. Remember this: do not envy the rich. Envy blinds you to the wealth you already possess, your reason, your virtue, your freedom. These are greater than gold, and no thief, no misfortune, not even death can take them from you. Number 69. Live in harmony with reason. What separates you from animals, from plants, from all other things in nature? It is reason. The tree grows, the lion hunts, the river flows, but none of them can question, reflect, or choose with wisdom. You can. To ignore reason is to abandon your very nature. To live without it is to live blindly. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to act in accordance with nature. And for man, that nature is reason. Reason is your guide, your compass, your strength. When anger rises, reason says, "Will this help or harm?" When desire tempts you, reason asks, "Is this necessary or destructive?" When fear whispers, reason answers, "Is this danger real or only imagined?" Without reason, you are tossed like a leaf in the wind. With reason, you stand like a tree rooted deep in the earth. But harmony with reason is not coldness. It does not mean cutting off feeling. It means directing feeling wisely, letting your mind lead instead of your impulses. The man who lets desire rule him is a slave. The man who lets fear rule him is weak. The man who follows reason is free. So each day, test yourself. Ask, am I acting because of wisdom or because of impulse? Am I living by truth or by emotion alone? The answer reveals whether you are in harmony with your nature or at war with it. Remember this: to live in harmony with reason is to live as you were created to live. It is strength, it is peace, it is freedom. Everything else is noise. Number 70. No one escapes death. Why do you live as if death were something that happens to others but not to you? Why do you hide from the thought as if ignoring it could change its certainty? Look around you. Kings and beggars, heroes and cowards, the young and the old. None escape. Death is the one law that spares no one. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each day, you could leave life right now, not to frighten himself, but to live awake, to stop wasting time. Death is not a stranger creeping in the shadows. It is the natural end of every life, yours included. To deny this is to live in illusion. To accept it is to live in truth. Think about it. You prepare for tomorrow as if it is guaranteed, yet how many before you thought the same? Wealth cannot buy escape. Power cannot command another breath. Fame cannot bargain for more years. Death does not ask your permission, and it does not delay for your plans. But if no one escapes, why fear it? Fear cannot stop it. Instead, let it free you. Let the certainty of death remind you to use life well. Speak the words you hold back. Do the good you postpone. Live with courage, for you know the end is certain. Remember this: no one escapes death. To run from it is foolish. To accept it is wise. And when you live with this truth before you, you will stop wasting days and start living each one as if it truly matters, because it does. Number 71. Life is a loan from time. You live as if life were yours forever, as if the days ahead are guaranteed, but they are not. Life is not a possession. It is a loan, granted by time, and every moment that passes is interest collected. One day the debt will be called in, and you must return it all. Seneca reminded us often, we do not own our lives, we borrow them. Fortune may demand them back at any moment. A sudden illness, an accident, the silent passing of years, all remind us that what we hold is temporary. To forget this is to live in arrogance. To remember it is to live with urgency. Think about it. When someone lends you something precious, you handle it with care, with gratitude, knowing it is not truly yours. Should you not treat life the same way? Each breath, each sunrise, each chance to act with justice or kindness is not guaranteed. It is a gift on loan, so stop wasting what is borrowed. Do not spend your days in anger, in envy, in meaningless distraction. Use your time as if you must repay it tomorrow, because perhaps you will. Live with honor, with virtue, with presence, so that when time asks for life back, you can return it without shame. Remember this: life is a loan from time. You cannot keep it, but you can spend it wisely. And how you spend it, that is the only repayment you truly owe. Number 72. Control begins within. So many people spend their lives trying to control everything outside of them: their jobs, their fortunes, their reputations, even the behavior of others. And yet, no matter how hard they try, life slips through their fingers. Why? Because control does not begin out there. Control begins within. Epictetus taught, some things are in our control and others not. What is outside of you, fortune, chance, other people's choices, will never fully obey you. But what is inside of you, your judgments, your actions, your responses, this is your true domain. Master this, and you master life. Think about anger. You cannot control what others say to you, but you can control whether you let their words ignite your temper. Think about fear. You cannot stop fate from bringing hardship, but you can control whether you meet it with courage or with panic. Think about desire. You cannot force the world to hand you everything you want, but you can control whether you enslave yourself to craving or free yourself through discipline. Control is not about bending the world to your will. It is about bending yourself into harmony with reason and nature. The man who rules his mind is unshaken even when storms rage around him. The man who does not rule himself is tossed like a ship with no anchor, even on calm waters. Remember this: control begins within. Do not waste your strength trying to own what was never yours. Take command of your own mind, your own actions, your own soul, for he who governs himself is never truly at the mercy of anything else. Number 73. Nothing new under the sun. Do you think your struggles are unique, that no one before you has faced what you are facing now? Look back through history. Men have always been betrayed. Women have always mourned. Empires have risen and fallen. Joy, sorrow, love, loss, all of it has happened countless times before. Nothing new under the sun. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often that the same events repeat again and again. The faces change, the names change, but the patterns remain. What comforts one man today once comforted another long ago. What angers you now once angered someone centuries before. Even your fears, even your hopes have been lived by others, and they too passed on. Why does this matter? Because it frees you. If nothing is new, then nothing is unbearable. Others have endured it before you, and so can you. If nothing is new, then fame and glory lose their shine, for all the praises of men fade into the same dust. If nothing is new, then suffering loses its sting, for it is not personal, it is simply part of the endless cycle of life. So when hardship comes, do not act as if the universe singled you out. You are not cursed. You are simply living what humans have always lived. Accept it, endure it, rise through it. And when joy comes, savor it fully. But remember, it too is not new. It too will pass. Remember this: nothing new under the sun. Life repeats itself generation after generation. What matters is not what happens, but how you choose to meet it, with weakness or with wisdom. Number 74. The wise embrace change. Why do you resist change, as if holding tighter could freeze the world around you? Why do you cling to the past, fearing what is new, as though change itself were an enemy? Look carefully. Everything in nature changes. The seasons turn, the rivers shift, the stars move, the body ages. Change is not against you. Change is life itself. The foolish fight it. They cling to comfort, to routine, to the illusion that things will stay as they are. But this only brings pain, because life will not obey their wishes. The wise see differently. They do not fear change, they embrace it. They know that to live is to move, to adapt, to flow with what is given. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change. What is growth, if not change? What is wisdom, if not the ability to adjust? Without change, there is no progress, no learning, no strength." To resist change is to resist life itself. So when life shifts unexpectedly, do not cry out, "This should not be." Instead ask, "How can I grow through this? What does this moment demand of me?" The tree that bends with the storm survives, while the rigid one snaps. Strength is not in refusing change, but in adapting to it with calm and courage. Remember this: the wise embrace change, for they know it is the nature of the universe. Everything transforms, and so must you. To accept change is to walk in harmony with life itself. To resist it is to break against it. Choose to embrace it, and you will find peace where others find only fear. Number 75. A calm mind conquers. In chaos, the one who panics is defeated before the fight even begins. In crisis, the one who loses his temper loses his power. It is not force, nor anger, nor noise that conquers. It is calm. A steady mind sees clearly, acts wisely, and endures what others cannot. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius, burdened with an empire, reminded himself daily to stay calm. Armies, plagues, betrayals, still he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And that power was enough, because the calm mind is unshaken by storms. It does not waste strength on rage or fear. It directs all energy toward reason, toward action, toward what must be done. Think about it. When fire spreads, do you want the man who screams or the one who breathes, thinks, and acts? When disaster strikes, who leads, the frantic or the calm? Victory belongs to the one who holds himself steady when all others lose control. So practice calm daily. When insult comes, do not flare. When delay comes, do not fume. When hardship arrives, breathe and remind yourself, "This is under my control. My response is mine." Each time you choose calm over panic, you grow stronger. Each time you master yourself, the world loses its grip on you. Remember this: a calm mind conquers, not through force, but through clarity, not through rage, but through reason. And in the end, the one who rules himself rules everything. Number 76. Do not cling to life. Why do you clutch so tightly to life, as if holding harder could keep death away? You fear the end, so you cling. But clinging does not add a single day. It only steals the peace from the days you already have. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." The tragedy is not that life ends, but that we waste it in fear, distraction, and endless grasping. To cling is to live in chains. To accept is to live in freedom. Think about the seasons. Spring does not resist summer. Autumn does not fight against winter. Each comes, each passes, each fulfills its purpose. So too with your life. It had a beginning, it will have an end, and in between lies your chance to live with virtue. Why spoil it by pretending it will last forever? Clinging to life makes you timid. It makes you fear risk, fear loss, fear truth. You become a servant to your own survival. But when you accept that death is natural, you stop clinging and start living. You speak honestly, you act boldly, you love deeply, you waste less because you know time is precious. Do not mistake this for despair. Acceptance is not giving up, it is waking up. It is realizing that life is best lived with open hands, not clenched fists. Remember this: do not cling to life. Hold it lightly, live it fully, and when it is time to let go as calmly as the leaf that falls from the tree, without fear, without regret. at peace with nature's law. Number 77. Adversity purifies. Why do you see adversity only as punishment? Why do you curse the moments when life presses hardest on you? The Stoics knew better. Adversity is not sent to destroy you. It is sent to strip away what is weak, false, and unnecessary. Adversity purifies. Think of fire. When gold is thrown into the flames, the heat does not ruin it. The heat removes its impurities, leaving only what is strong and pure. In the same way, adversity burns away your illusions. It shows you how little control you have over fortune and how much control you have over yourself. It takes away pride, vanity, and false strength, leaving behind humility, clarity, and endurance. Marcus Aurelius faced war, betrayal, and plague, yet he reminded himself that hardship was not evil. It was nature at work, and when endured with courage, it refined the soul. Seneca said the same. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. Without trials, your virtues remain untested. With trials, they become real. So when adversity strikes, do not cry out, "Why me?" Say instead, "This is my test. This is my fire." Let it purify your patience, your courage, your self-control. Let it strip away the laziness and excuses that comfort brings. Remember this: adversity purifies. It does not take from you what is truly yours. It only burns away what was never essential. And when the fire has passed, what remains is stronger, cleaner, unshakable. Number 78. The virtuous man is rich. What is true wealth? Is it gold, land, or possessions? If so, why are so many who have these things still restless, greedy, and afraid? Wealth that depends on fortune can be taken away in a moment, but the wealth that comes from virtue, justice, courage, wisdom, self-control cannot be stolen. The man who lives with virtue is richer than kings. Seneca said, "He is the richest who is content with the least." Virtue brings this contentment. A virtuous man does not measure his life by what he owns, but by who he is. He does not crave endlessly, for he already has enough within himself. His wealth is not stored in banks or palaces, but in his soul. Think of the opposite. A man with endless possessions but no virtue is poor. He is ruled by fear of losing what he has. He is chained by desire for more. His riches are heavy burdens, not treasures. But the virtuous man, even in poverty, walks free. He fears nothing because his true wealth is untouchable. So ask yourself, what do I seek? Riches of the body or riches of the soul? One can vanish overnight. The other endures through every storm, every loss, even death itself. Remember this: the virtuous man is rich. Rich in peace, rich in freedom, rich in strength. Fortune may strip him of everything, yet he remains wealthy, for his treasure lies where no thief can reach, in his character. Number 79. Time heals nothing, reason does. How often do you hear it said, "Time heals all wounds"? But is it true? Does the mere passing of days erase pain, or does it simply bury it under layers of forgetfulness? Time itself does nothing. It is reason that heals. The Stoics were clear on this. Marcus Aurelius did not wait for pain to fade. He examined it with his mind. He asked, "Is this within my control? Is this truly harmful, or only my judgment of it?" By reasoning he found peace, not by waiting idly for the calendar to change. Think about it. Two people suffer the same loss. One remains broken for years, while the other regained strength and calm. Did time favor one more than the other? No. The difference was how they thought, how they chose to see their pain, how they used reason to guide them through it. If you wait for time alone to cure you, you may wait forever. But if you use your mind, if you reflect, reframe, and accept, you can heal today. Pain may visit you, but it does not have to own you. So when suffering comes, do not ask, "How long until this passes?" Ask instead, "How should I see this? What can I learn? How can I grow stronger from it?" The moment you do this, healing begins, not because of time, but because of reason. Remember this: time heals nothing, reason does. It is not the clock that restores peace. It is the mind that chooses it. Number 80. Courage is resistance to fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to be ruled by it. Every man feels fear, the wise, the strong, the brave, all of them. But the difference is this: the coward obeys fear, the courageous man resists it. Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Fear paints shadows larger than they are. It whispers lies. You cannot handle this. You will fail. You will break. But courage answers, "Perhaps I will suffer, but I will endure. Perhaps I will fall, but I will rise. Perhaps I will die, but I will do so with dignity." Think about it. If you wait until fear is gone, you will never act. If you wait for perfect confidence, you will remain still forever. Courage is not waiting for fear to disappear. It is moving forward while fear walks beside you. The soldier who enters battle, the man who speaks the truth in the face of mockery, the one who stands firm in hardship, do you think they feel no fear? They feel it, but they resist it. They remember that fear is only a feeling, not a chain. It cannot command you unless you bow to it. So the next time fear rises, do not try to erase it. Resist it. Stand tall and act in spite of it. Every step taken against fear weakens its hold, and every act of courage makes you stronger. Remember this: courage is resistance to fear. It is the decision that fear may visit you, but it will never own you. And once you master that, you are truly free. Number 81. Every day is a gift. How many mornings have you opened your eyes and treated the day as ordinary, as if it were owed to you? You hurry, you complain, you waste hours on distractions, forgetting that this day, this sunrise, this chance to live was never promised. Every day is a gift. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Life is fragile. Death is always near. Yet instead of fearing this truth, the Stoic embraces it because it makes every day shine brighter. When you see each morning as a gift, you stop wasting it. You stop sleeping through life. Think of the thousands who did not wake today. Think of all the chances that are now gone forever for them. And yet here you are, breathing, thinking, alive. What greater gift could you be given? What excuse do you have to squander it? When you rise, do not complain about what you lack. Do not curse fortune for what it has not given. Instead, say, "I have this day. I will use it well." Whether it is filled with ease or hardship does not matter. What matters is that you live it with intention, with courage, with gratitude. Remember this: every day is a gift, freely given, but never guaranteed. Treat it with reverence. Use it with care. Live it so that when night comes you can say, "I was worthy of this gift." Number 82. Anger is weakness. Why do you think anger makes you strong? Why do you raise your voice, clench your fists, and believe that fury is power? Look closer. Anger is not strength. Anger is weakness disguised as force. It does not show control, it shows the lack of it. It does not build, it destroys. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Why? Because anger is a storm of the mind. It clouds judgment, blinds reason, and drives you to actions you will regret. The man who is calm in the face of insult is strong. The man who burns with rage at every offense is fragile, ruled by others, pulled like a puppet by every word and every slight. Think of it. If another person's actions can make you lose control of yourself, who is truly in power, you or them? Anger hands your freedom to others. It chains your will to the behavior of strangers. That is not strength. That is slavery. The Stoic knows that true power is self-mastery, to remain steady when provoked, to choose reason over impulse, to answer insult with silence or calm words. This requires more strength than any outburst of rage ever could. So the next time anger rises, do not let it rule you. Pause, breathe, ask yourself, am I master of myself, or am I handing my power away? Remember this, anger is weakness. Calm is strength. The man who conquers his anger has conquered something greater than any enemy. He has conquered himself. Number 83. To forgive is strength. Many think forgiveness is weakness, that to forgive is to let someone escape justice, to let them win. But look closer. Anger is easy. Revenge is easy. Anyone can hold a grudge. What is difficult is to rise above injury, to let go of hatred, and to free yourself from the poison of resentment. That is not weakness. That is true strength. The Stoics knew this well. Marcus Aurelius, often surrounded by betrayal, reminded himself daily to expect selfishness, arrogance, and cruelty from others. Yet he chose not to hate, not to repay evil with evil. Why? Because hatred harms you more than the one you hate. Forgiveness, on the other hand, restores your peace. Think about it. When you cling to anger, who suffers most? Not the offender, you. You drink the poison, hoping the other will fall. But when you forgive, you break the chain. You say, "Your actions do not control me. My peace belongs to me." That is strength greater than any revenge. Forgiveness does not mean approval. It does not mean forgetting. It means refusing to let another's wrong turn you unjust, bitter, or cruel. It means guarding your own virtue above all. So the next time someone harms you, remember, you cannot control what they did, but you can control your response. To forgive is not to bow. It is to stand taller, unshaken, untouchable. Remember this. To forgive is strength. It is the power to choose peace over poison, clarity over rage, and virtue over vengeance. Number 84. Desires enslave. Do you think you are free because you can chase what you want? Look closer. The man who is ruled by desire is never free. He is a slave. Every craving pulls his strings. Every want drags him like a chain. The more he chases, the less he controls himself. Epictetus warned, "Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of men's desires, but by the removal of desire." Why? Because desires are endless. When one is satisfied, another appears. Wealth, pleasure, praise, none of them stay. You drink, and soon you thirst again. You gain, and soon you want more. The man who obeys desire is never at rest. Think about it. The glutton is ruled by food, the drunkard by wine, the greedy by gold, the vain by applause. They think they are living, but they are only serving new masters each day. Desire whispers promises but delivers chains. The wise man seeks freedom, not slavery. He trains himself to want less, to be content with what is necessary, to rule his appetite instead of being ruled by it. He eats to live, not lives to eat. He enjoys what fortune gives, but does not beg for more. He knows that the man who needs little cannot be enslaved. So ask yourself, do I own my desires, or do they own me? If they command you, you are not free. If you command them, you are sovereign. Remember this: desires enslave. Freedom belongs only to the one who governs his wants, not the one who is governed by them. Number 85. Misfortune is training. Why do you see misfortune only as cruelty? Why do you curse the moments when life strikes you with hardship? The Stoics taught that misfortune is not punishment. It is training. Just as the athlete strengthens his body through struggle, the soul strengthens itself through trials. Think of a soldier. He does not become skilled by sitting in comfort. He becomes skilled by facing battles, by enduring pain, by standing firm against fear. Misfortune serves the same role in your life. It is the drill master of the soul, forcing you to sharpen courage, patience, and self-control. Without it, virtue stays soft, untested, unproven. Seneca said that misfortune is the test of character. Fortune pampers, but misfortune prepares. Fortune makes you lazy, but misfortune makes you alert. Fortune whispers lies of comfort, but misfortune teaches truth. The truth that nothing is permanent, nothing is fully yours, and strength must come from within. So when hardship comes, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "What is this training me for?" Each loss trains detachment. Each insult trains patience. Each pain trains endurance. Each obstacle trains resilience. Remember this: misfortune is training. It is the weight that strengthens your soul, the fire that tempers your spirit, the teacher that prepares you for greater challenges ahead. Accept it, endure it, and rise from it stronger than before. Number 86. The wise man is cheerful. Why do so many walk through life heavy with gloom, as if sorrow itself were a virtue? Why do they frown at fortune, complain at hardship, and sour every moment with bitterness? This is not wisdom, it is weakness. The wise man is not crushed by life. The wise man is cheerful. Cheerfulness does not mean foolish laughter or blind optimism. It means carrying a steady spirit, no matter the weather of life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself not to be gloomy or sour when facing duties, but to act with dignity and calm. The wise man knows that complaining adds nothing to the burden, while cheerfulness lightens even the heaviest load. Think about it. Two men face the same hardship. One groans, curses, and spreads misery to all around him. The other endures with patience, speaks kindly, and keeps a light heart. Which one is stronger? Which one lives better? Circumstances are the same, but the spirit makes the difference. Cheerfulness is strength because it comes from perspective. The wise man knows fortune changes like the wind. He knows pain is part of life. He knows death waits for all, but instead of despairing, he chooses gratitude for breath, for time, for the chance to act with virtue today. So train yourself to meet each day not with a frown, but with a steady, quiet joy. Let others see in you a man unbroken, unbitter, unshaken, even in struggle. Remember this: The wise man is cheerful. His happiness is not tied to wealth, comfort, or chance. It is rooted in wisdom, and because of that, no storm can take it away. Number 87. Life is service. Why are you here? To hoard wealth, to chase pleasures, to build a tower of pride for yourself alone. None of these endure. All of them fade. The Stoics taught that the true purpose of life is greater than yourself. Life is service. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids. Just as the hand serves the body, so each of us serves the whole. To live only for yourself is to shrink, to wither, to betray your nature. To serve others, to act with justice, kindness, and usefulness is to live in harmony with what you were created for. Think about it. The tree gives shade, the river gives water, the sun gives light. None hoard for themselves. They give because that is their nature. Should you, a rational being, do less? Service does not always mean grand acts. It means fairness in small dealings, patience with the difficult, compassion for the suffering, honesty when it would be easier to lie. It means asking not only, "What do I gain?" but "What can I give?" And here is the paradox. When you live for others, you do not lose yourself. You find yourself. Peace comes from fulfilling your duty, not from chasing endless desires. Happiness comes not from being served, but from serving rightly. Remember this: life is service. To live otherwise is to fight against nature. To serve with justice and love is to fulfill the purpose for which you were born. Number 88. Beware idle talk. How much of life is wasted in words without weight? Empty chatter, gossip, pointless arguments, noise that fills the air but adds nothing to the mind. Idle talk may seem harmless, but it steals your time, weakens your focus, and often leads to harm. Epictetus warned against it, and Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Let your speech be guided by truth and necessity." The wise man does not let his tongue run without purpose. He knows that words carry power. They can heal, they can wound, they can build, they can destroy. To use them carelessly is to waste that power. Think about gossip. It feeds on weakness. It spreads lies, fuels envy, stirs anger. And yet, how easily people fall into it, as if speaking of others' faults made their own disappear. But what does it give you? Nothing but distraction, nothing but noise. The wise man keeps his tongue from it, for he knows that judging others blinds him to his own work. Idle talk is also a trap of time. Hours vanish in chatter that changes nothing. Meanwhile, discipline is neglected, duty is delayed, and life slips away. Silence is always better than words without purpose. A single thoughtful sentence is worth more than an hour of careless speech. So beware when you feel the urge to fill silence with talk. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this useful? Is this necessary? If not, hold your tongue. Remember this: beware idle talk. Speak less, listen more, and when you do speak, let your words carry weight. For the man who governs his tongue governs his life. Number 89. Happiness is a byproduct of virtue. Why do so many chase happiness directly yet never catch it? They run after wealth, pleasure, reputation, believing these will finally make them content. But the Stoics knew a secret. Happiness cannot be hunted. It cannot be taken by force. It comes only as a byproduct of living with virtue. Virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control is the true good. When you live by these, Happiness follows naturally, like a shadow that never leaves. But when you abandon virtue and chase pleasure, happiness slips away. You may feel a moment's thrill, but soon after comes emptiness. You cannot cheat nature. Lasting joy belongs only to the soul that lives rightly. Think about it. When you act with justice, does not your mind feel lighter? When you master your desires, do you not feel free? When you face fear with courage, do you not stand taller inside yourself? These moments of virtue are the seeds of true happiness. No external gift can match them. So stop asking, "How can I be happy?" Ask instead, "Am I living with virtue?" If the answer is yes, happiness will come without your chasing. If the answer is no, no amount of money, pleasure, or praise will satisfy you. Remember this: happiness is not the goal, it is the result. Live with virtue, and happiness will follow. Live without virtue, and happiness will always escape you, no matter how hard you run after it. Number 90. Live as if dead already. Why do you hesitate to live fully? Why do you delay what matters as if you had endless tomorrows waiting for you? The truth is harsh but simple. You are already on borrowed time. Death is certain. Life is brief. If you would live well, live as if you were already dead. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." What did he mean? Not despair, but freedom. When you see yourself as already dead, you stop clinging. You stop wasting time on trivial fears and petty desires. You stop postponing virtue until later. You live with urgency because you know later may never come. Think about it. The man who fears death wastes life. He hesitates, he delays, he hides from risk. But the one who accepts death has nothing left to fear. He is free to act with courage, to speak truth, to pursue what is right, because he knows he has nothing to lose. So live today as though death has already claimed you. See every moment as a gift returned, every breath as a bonus. Treat it as your last chance to live with honor, to show kindness, to practice courage. Do not waste it on vanity, on anger, on fear. Remember this: live as if dead already. For when you strip away the illusion of endless time, you discover what life is truly worth, and only then will you begin to live it rightly. Number 91. Do not waste thought on trifles. How much of your mind is consumed by small things? A careless word from a stranger, a delay in traffic, a petty insult, a minor inconvenience. You turn them over and over in your head as if they were great disasters. But step back. Do they truly matter? Will they matter tomorrow? Will they matter at the end of your life? Most likely not. Marcus Aurelius warned himself often not to be distracted by trifles. He reminded himself to rise above, to focus only on what is essential, because every thought you waste on small things is thought stolen from higher things: virtue, purpose, peace. Think about it. Your mind is your greatest possession. Why throw it away on gossip, on annoyance, on the dust of daily life? If someone wrongs you in a small way, let it pass. If fortune withholds some small comfort, ignore it. If things do not go exactly as you planned, ask yourself, is this truly worth my energy? Almost always the answer is no. Greatness of soul comes from perspective. The wise man does not bend under small weights. He keeps his gaze fixed on what matters: justice, courage, self-control, wisdom. Everything else is noise, so discipline your mind. Guard it as a treasure. Let trifles blow past like leaves in the wind. Your thoughts are too valuable to waste on them. Remember this: do not waste thought on trifles. A mind that stays fixed on what is great becomes great itself. Number 92. Desire less, suffer less. Why do you suffer so often? Not because life denies you what you need, but because you crave what you do not need. The more you desire, the more you open yourself to disappointment. Fortune cannot satisfy endless wants, and so the man who desires much suffers much. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Think about it. If you set your happiness on riches, you will suffer when they slip away. If you hunger for praise, you will suffer when it does not come. If you cling to pleasure, you will suffer when it fades. Desire stretches your heart like a rope pulled too tight, always ready to snap. But the man who desires little is never poor. He is content with what is in front of him. He enjoys what fortune gives without begging for more. He knows that bread and water can satisfy hunger, that a roof can shelter him, that virtue alone can make him complete. Look at the man of endless desire, always restless, always dissatisfied, always fearing loss. Now look at the man who has learned contentment, calm, steady, unshaken by fortune. Which one is truly rich? So practice this. When desire arises, ask yourself, is this necessary, or is it only another chain waiting to bind me? Most of what you chase is not needed, and every unnecessary want is a doorway to unnecessary suffering. Remember this: desire less, suffer less. The man who learns contentment cannot be robbed, cannot be shaken, cannot be enslaved, for he already has enough. Number 93. Calm is contagious. Have you noticed how one anxious person can disturb an entire room? How fear spreads quickly, how anger ignites anger in others? But the opposite is also true. Calm is contagious. One steady soul can steady many. One person who remains composed under pressure can quiet the panic of those around him. The Stoics knew that you cannot always control the storm, but you can control how you stand in it. And when you stand calm, you give others the courage to do the same. Marcus Aurelius, burdened with wars and plagues, did not rule with rage or fear. He ruled with calm. His composure was strength for his people. Think of it this way. If a man enters a room shouting, he fills it with noise. But if a man enters with silence and steadiness, he fills it with peace. Which would you rather be? Which has more power? Your calm is not just for you. It is for those around you. Your children, your friends, your colleagues. They all look to you, whether you realize it or not. If you lose control, they follow. If you remain steady, they learn to remain steady too. So practice calm not only as a personal virtue, but as a service. Breathe slowly when others panic. Speak gently when others shout. Act with reason when others lose their heads. You will be surprised how much influence a single calm soul can have. Remember this: calm is contagious. To master it is to bring peace not only to yourself, but to everyone who crosses your path. Number 94. Measure wealth by needs, not wants. Why do so many feel poor even when they have more than enough? Why do they chase endlessly, piling up possessions, yet never feel satisfied? The mistake is simple. They measure wealth by their wants, not their needs. And wants have no limit. The more you feed them, the hungrier they grow. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." A man whose needs are few will always be rich, even with little. He eats enough to be nourished, sleeps enough to be rested, owns enough to live with dignity, and he is content. But a man who measures by wants is never satisfied. Give him gold, he wants more. Give him honor, he demands greater. He becomes a slave to craving, and craving is endless poverty. Wealth, then, is not in possessions, but in perspective. The one who understands what is truly necessary, food, shelter, virtue, peace of mind, is wealthier than the kings who are restless in their palaces. Fortune can take away riches in an instant, but it cannot take away contentment that comes from needing little. So ask yourself, do I truly need this, or do I merely want it? If it is a want, let it go. If it is a need, be grateful when it is met. In this way, you will live rich, even with little. Remember this: measure wealth by needs, not wants. For the one who masters his needs is free, while the one who obeys his wants will always live in chains. Number 95. Bear misfortune nobly. Misfortune comes to all. No life is free from pain, loss, or hardship. But what truly matters is not the blow itself, but how you bear it. To collapse in complaint, to curse fortune, to drown in self-pity, this is to suffer twice. The wound is real, but the disgrace is chosen. The noble man endures with dignity. The Stoics taught that misfortune is not an enemy, but a test. Seneca said, "Fire tests gold, misfortune tests brave men." If hardship arrives, it is your chance to prove your strength, to show the world and yourself that your spirit cannot be broken. Think about it. The storm may batter your body, but it cannot touch your virtue unless you let it. Poverty may strip your possessions, but it cannot strip your courage. Loss may bring grief, but it cannot steal your honor. Misfortune only has the power you grant it. So when trouble comes, stand tall. Say to yourself, "This too is part of life. This too I was made to endure." Do not whine. Do not despair. Do not ask, "Why me?" Ask instead, "How can I meet this with strength? How can I bear this in a way worthy of my principles?" Nobility is not shown in times of comfort. It is revealed in times of trial. Remember this: bear misfortune nobly. For though fortune may wound your body, it is only you who decides the state of your soul. Number 96. The past is dead. Why do you chain yourself to what is gone? You replay mistakes, relive pain, hold grudges, and mourn days that will never return. But the past is dead. No thought, no effort, no regret can bring it back. To cling to it is to waste the life you still have. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same reason you use now for the present." The same is true of the past. Do not let it haunt you. What is done is beyond your control. To carry it forward is like dragging a corpse on your back, heavy, useless, and rotting your peace. Ask yourself, how many hours have I lost reliving yesterday? Did it change anything, or did it only steal today from me as well? The wise man knows regret is pointless, resentment is poison, nostalgia is illusion. The past cannot be touched. It exists only in memory, and memory is not life. This does not mean you should forget it. Learn from it, yes. Take its lessons, then let it go. To hold it forever is to deny yourself freedom. So when your mind wanders back, remind yourself, that time is gone. It cannot touch me now. Return to the present, because the present is alive and the past is not. Remember this: the past is dead. Let it rest. Do not bury today under yesterday's ashes. Live now, because now is all that remains in your hands. Number 97. The future is uncertain. How much of your life have you wasted worrying about what may come? You build plans, you create expectations, you fear disasters that may never arrive. Yet no one has ever seen the future. Not kings, not philosophers, not even the wisest men. The future is uncertain, always hidden behind a veil you cannot lift. The Stoics reminded themselves daily not to lean too heavily on tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same reason you use today." The future is not yours. It has not been promised. What you do have is the present moment, and that is enough. Think about it. How many things you feared in the past never actually happened? How many sleepless nights were wasted on worries that dissolved with time? And when hardship did come, did you not endure it? Did you not survive? The strength you needed was there, just as it will be again. So do not live in chains of imagined fears. Do not demand certainty from what can never be certain. Instead, prepare your mind. Live with virtue now. Train your reason now. Meet each day with courage now. Then, no matter what the future holds, fortune or misfortune, you will be ready. Remember this: the future is uncertain, but that is no cause for fear. It is only a reminder to live fully today, to act with honor now, to waste no time. When tomorrow comes, you will meet it as you have met every challenge before, with strength. Number 98. Only now exists. Why do you waste your life in times that are not yours? You replay the past as if regret could change it. You worry about the future as if fear could control it. And in doing so, you abandon the only thing you ever truly have, the present moment. Only now exists. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Confine yourself to the present." The past is gone, a shadow you cannot touch. The future has not arrived, a dream that may never come. But this moment, right here, is real. This breath, this action, this choice, this is life. To ignore it is to let life slip through your fingers. Think carefully. How many joys have you missed because your mind was somewhere else? How many conversations half-lived? How many sunsets unseen because you were trapped in yesterday or tomorrow? The man who lives anywhere but the present does not live at all. The Stoics taught that peace is found only in now. You cannot act in the past. You cannot act in the future. You can act only here. To live in the present is to be free, to speak with clarity, to love with attention, to endure with patience. So when your mind drifts, pull it back. Ask yourself, am I here or am I lost in time? Anchor yourself in this moment because it is the only one you will ever truly hold. Remember this: only now exists. Guard it, live it, use it well. For all of life is nothing more than a string of present moments, and to waste one is to waste what cannot be replaced. Number 99. Walk with reason, not passion. Passion is loud, urgent, and reckless. It pushes you to act before you think, to speak before you know, to choose before you see clearly. Passion burns hot, but it burns out quickly, leaving behind regret. Reason, on the other hand, is calm, steady, and guiding. It sees further than the heat of the moment. To walk with reason is to walk with clarity. The Stoics warned against being slaves to passion. Anger, greed, envy, lust These are storms that shake the mind and drag it from its path. But reason is the anchor. Reason is the light in the storm. It does not silence feeling, but it rules over it, shaping it into strength instead of weakness. Think carefully. How many mistakes in your life were born from passion? Words said in anger, decisions made in haste, desires pursued blindly. And how often did reason, when you listened, save you from harm? Passion blinds, but reason opens the eyes. So practice this daily. When emotion rises, pause. Ask yourself, what is the wise response? What will still be right tomorrow? Choose with your mind, not with the fire of impulse. Passion promises victory, but often delivers ruin. Reason promises steadiness and gives peace. Remember this: walk with reason, not passion. For the one who rules himself with reason cannot be ruled by anything else. Number 100. Live well, die well. What is the purpose of life? It is not to live forever. You cannot. It is not to gather endless wealth. You will leave it behind. It is not to win the applause of the crowd. Their voices fade quickly after you are gone. The purpose of life is simple: to live with virtue and then to die with dignity. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." To live well means to use your days wisely, to act with justice, to speak with honesty, to face hardship with courage, to desire little, and to master yourself. It means that when the end comes, you can look back without shame, knowing you spent your time as nature intended, with reason, with duty, with strength. And what does it mean to die well? It means to meet death as you would meet sleep, calm, unafraid, without clinging or complaint. Death is not evil, it is the closing of life's circle. The man who has lived well does not beg for more time, nor does he fear the end. He accepts it as part of the order of the cosmos, as natural as birth, as certain as the setting sun. So do not waste your life chasing comfort, fleeing pain, or fearing death. Use your time to live with excellence, so that when the hour of departure arrives, you can walk toward it with steady steps and clear eyes. Remember this: live well, die well. That is the whole of philosophy. Nothing more is needed, and nothing greater can be asked of you. You have now walked through 100 Stoic meditations, lessons on life, death, courage, desire, and peace. Each one a reminder that the mind is your kingdom, that control begins within, that fortune may test you but never break you, and that life is short yet beautiful when lived with reason and virtue. Take these words with you into the night. Let them quiet your mind, free you from worry, and prepare you for rest. For the day is done, the past is gone, and the present moment, this moment, is enough. Sleep well, knowing that tomorrow you rise stronger, calmer, and more prepared to face whatever comes. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments, write, "I rest with peace." Not as empty words, but as a promise to yourself, to let go of worry, to accept what is, and to meet each day with calm strength. And if these meditations have brought you clarity, subscribe to this channel. Here you will always find reminders to steady your mind, strengthen your character, and live with purpose. Rest now. You are exactly where you should be.